What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? The Celtic Warriors, James.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1. Again. Thank you, Marv, our opener. Marv, always crushing it. Thanks for warming up the crowd, Marv. Love it. Good guy. Welcome to the dive bar. This is episode 1, Wrestling on the Rocks. With me today for Thursday Night Chaser to drink away the garbage. We got Miss Amanda.
Well, hello.
Hey.
How's it going, folk? Did you guys see me at Dynamite? No.
I looked a bunch.
I was there.
Yeah.
Had the world's shittiest seat. But
there was a couple times where the camera caught the corner right over that table, and I was like, is that the top of her head? Like, it was hard to, but it was never long enough to actually make the distinction that that's you. You know what I mean? Like, just a glimpse her. I was like, I think that might have been her, but I don't know. So, what's in your glass? What are you drinking?
That was me. What? Am I drinking?
Yeah, what are you drinking? What's in your glass?
Just regular Coke, because, I need to not be tipsy when talking about what I saw.
Yeah.
And all the shenanigans. Well, I didn't have shenanigans, let me tell you that. But I need to be a little tipsy. So, not tipsy. So,
well, it makes sense. If you're going to be talking about Tony Khan, there's nothing better to have while talking about him than just regular Coke.
Yeah.
It's like an homage, really.
And every time I take a sip, it's the equivalent of taking a bump. That should be the new the new AEW drinking game.
Yeah.
Or if you really
Bump
are that
rail.
hardcore, you can. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they would release a shirt that said AEW was on the rails.
No, we have to make our own.
Because it's not off the rails. You know what I mean? But he's bumping rails the whole time he's booking the show. Ooh, AEW, read between the lines.
That's a great pay-per-view.
Yeah, I want to make a whole series of AEW cocaine shirts.
You know what? People might buy them actually. We need
I've
to
seen
have it
some
so it's totally
straight up shops of just fucking bootleg stuff getting away with it. And there's been a lot of times where like I'll see them tag the talent and stuff, be like, look at I made these shirts and I'm
Dude, I
selling
wouldn't
them.
tag
Isn't that great? And I'm all like, fuck, if I was them, I'd shut you the fuck down. Like,
it down.
you can't just design a t-shirt of somebody else and sell it for your own, like,
No.
that's their
Or
likeness. Like, but
you know what would be perfect? Is friend of the show, Roy, wants to make have CancelCon, which is his inception of this is all these canceled wrestlers and whatnot or people. And he's like, do you think people would come? I go, yes. And they wouldn't
actually, I
tell
think
people they would come because
of
why? Because it's like hot garbage and people love hot garbage. Yeah.
Well, there's that, and I think that there's also like the anti-culture culture, right? Like, I'll fucking show them. Like, CYN had a pretty reasonable turnout to a lot of events because it had a lot of heat on it. You know what I mean? And so people were going almost to protest all the woke. You know what I mean? So I actually think a cancel con would work. But I don't know if Roy wants you just telling the fucking internet that.
I don't know, but Roy thinks it's a great idea.
I think it's great.
And
Let's see.
I think it's
in
great
my
too.
glass.
I think it's great.
I'm gonna try one more time. We're doing one more round. I got 4 of these. I tried them yesterday, and it nearly made me sick. They're so bad. Crook and Marker organic brewed cocktails made an organic espresso martini that I was so fucking thrilled about. 10%, 0 sugar. The thing was sour.
That just
like
doesn't seem right.
Sour. I added sweetener to it, and it tasted like sweetener in a really sour asshole. So then I added a bunch of sweet creamer to it, and that didn't help. And then I added actual coffee to it, and that didn't help. And then the creamer started to curdle in it. I had to dump the whole thing. But one thing we did notice after the fact was it said shake well before serving. And I thought maybe all the sweetener and stuff and whatever it's meant to taste like is settled at the bottom, and I just left it all down there. So I'm jerking the can right now, and I'm shaking the shit out of it. I'm going to try it one more time. I have another drink here of vodka and Starburst 0 sugar drink.
Okay. That sounds good.
It's delicious. I've had it so many times. So that's one that I'll have if this continues to be a ball sack sour.
It got 2 out of 5 stars on a review.
A review gave it 2 out of 5. 2's more than I to give.
It starts. Hold on.
What does it start?
It starts. This person says, I actually created an account just to leave this review. That's how bad this product is. That's how the review starts.
It starts with that. And I totally get it and think that they were being nice by giving it 2 stars. How to get the second star? Because the labeling is also shit. It's a sticker on a fucking blank can. You can even see the different color of the thing. It looks homemade. The canning.
Oh, Lord.
Now, a lot of times we say sponsored, not sponsored as the joke that like, hey, we wish they would sponsor us. In this case, they could fucking block me, dude. They're not getting my, like, they could pay me and I can't drink this. Let's see. No. I've shaken the shit out of it. I've jerked this can all over. Whoa!
If you're listening audio-wise, people.
Unpleasant. I need a paper towel. Stat.
See, I hope
not a whole roll. I'm gonna, because now I'm. Thank you.
Oy.
It's not fine the way you did it, and I could have ruined my shirt.
Oh God, Marsh.
Yeah, I just needed one paper towel. I could have grabbed a roll. Ugh.
Welcome.
I'm leaving you a bad review on paper towel retrieval.
You know, I think our viewers or listeners,
I don't like the smell of it.
If you're not listening / watching us on some sort of video format, you're missing out.
Okay. Yeah,
Because if I hear I'm jerking a can, I'm like, what the hell is this we're listening to? That we're talking about wrestling? What's going on? And then, yeah, I don't know. But I'm just, yeah. Yeah.
I'm pouring it over ice. I'm gonna let it sit for a second, get nice and ice cold. It's been in the fridge for days, so it's not that it's not cold. But something I've learned about ice and such is it numbs the flavor of things. And that's why they tell you not to put like really good whiskeys in it, because you don't get the full flavor, or red wines aren't meant to be chilled because it numbs the flavor of it.
So
That's
Coke
what I'm
with no
going
ice.
for with this one. Coke
Fountain
with no
drinks,
ice. You get
me, no ice.
Yeah.
Yep, no ice.
So you get the fullest flavor. A robust Coke flavor.
Yeah,
I
and
wonder,
people used to think it
Tony Khan's
because
favorite flavor of Coke. Huh.
he seems like a classic guy.
Yeah. He sticks with the originals.
Yeah. And then when something like flirty comes around, like, I don't know, vanilla cherry Coke, he's like, oh, 9 days, 9 days. Yeah, I don't do that very well. Sorry. I think that was
it's not better. It's not better, but it's not worse. I'll say the aftertaste is unpleasant. Is an unpleasant aftertaste. It tastes like fake sugar, like the shitty, not even stevia, like the ones before stevia, the powdery weird ones that people kept going, I'm not having it. You know how you go places and they have like the sweet and low and the equal, and then there's the other one that's a powdered fake sugar that no one touches. That one.
You mean the blue
one?
one?
But I will say, yeah, but it's the blue one that's not equal. It's the one that became a different one.
The yellow one.
I think the yellow one. Yeah, I think that's the one that's garbage.
Stevia is green.
Garbage.
Sweet and low is pink. Equal is blue.
Blue.
Whatever the yellow one is.
And there's always a ton of the yellow one. Because no one...
Yeah, because nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet and low's pink one. But I will say, after having the slightest sip of this, because I was afraid to drink it, it does feel like I could get through it if I sipped it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not so bad that you go, oh, like I was nearly gagging with Bishop yesterday, and not for the normal reasons. This was a drink related reason. But big shouts to Big Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop, who wants to try to come on this show. Bishop, you can come on the show. I'm dropping your name again. You say you want to come on this show. Okay. Yeah. But there's got to be some rules. You got to watch one of the things. Okay. And preferably not first. NXT. You got to watch Tony Khan produce. Oh.
It says it's 2 drinks because there's so much, and it's. I feel like they could put 5 or 6 on the label and say don't have very much. It's really tough to get through.
That's not good.
We're fucking dismal. If they did sponsor, if they sent me money, I would pour regular coffee into a glass and pretend it was them. I wouldn't even drink it.
You can't say that before. You got to really hype it up. And then don't tell them. Take the money. God, do we not know how
That's
to do
just
this?
it, Amanda, is I did hype it up to the best of my ability.
Yeah, but obviously...
I'm not talking as bad as it actually is.
So you're the Sammy Guevara or Will Ospreay of product promotion. That's all it is. That's your title.
That's true.
No, well.
Yeah, no cell-sitting.
That's not a good title.
Kuro says, out of context, this sounds bad. And I beg to differ, Kuro. I think in context, it sounds bad too.
Kuro, you're so right. That's what I was trying to say. If you're listening to this audio-wise and not seeing visual, this is bad. This is bad. And this is a man that produces a Resi. Produces Resi.
All right.
See?
I had even less sip on the third one. I've been going smaller and smaller sips, and that one, like, I felt it hit my throat, and it was bad. How do you do this?
Lady.
How do you make this and know what it tastes like, and then put it in a can? You know what I mean? Like, you usually have a board of people who taste shit first. How did this make it to a shelf?
You know what?
Like, I'm mad at everyone in the
Sometimes you gotta
company.
think of it this way. I'm going to put it into a wrestling context. We're going to talk wrestling context here, okay? Like some of these people, they think, oh my God, this is entertaining. Let's sign them. Luigi the pizza dude, okay? I don't understand that shit. There you go. That's my
you think
answer
that
right
these fucking people just think that all zero sugar shit tastes like this, and they go, "Ah, it's pretty bad," but that's what everything else tastes like. You know what I mean?
Probably. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I don't want to say I
What's the
wish I knew what
giveaway?
it tastes like because honestly, I
No.
have no desire, absolutely no desire. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I think the dead giveaway is the first name is it's Crook and Marker. Yeah,
Well,
no
there you
fucking
go.
kidding. They're crooks and marks, 100%. Like they're,
Is that why
maybe
you
it's the
bought
most
it?
true to. I got worked.
Is that why you bought it?
Yeah, this is like some Madoff shit.
All
right.
Well,
I'm gonna have to.
You I don't want to say you get what you pay for, but sometimes
This wasn't on clearance. This was like an expensive product that I thought was. I paid regular money for this. It was like $13 for a 4-pack.
And
I thought, okay, it can't be that bad. They wouldn't be a fucking idiot about this, but no, I bought it. I definitely bought it.
Oh God.
Kira's talking about my videos out of sync. I know. I'm gonna fix it, but to do that, I'm gonna I'm gonna move this to a station far away from me. I want you to talk birthdays, and I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So Marshall will love this when he gets back. So we've got a lot of really great birthdays, you guys, as we normally do. So let's see. Shout outs. Happy birthdays. Some of these people we all know and love. Well, maybe not love, but anyways. So I think I lost the tab that I had the birthdays on. God damn it. You grossed me out. And no, I did not. I found it. Here we go. All right. Sorry, guys. Only episode 1. Take a drink. Don't drink March's drink, but take a drink. So, Hanson. I know him as Hanson. You guys who watch WWE know him as Ivar. What is their damn tag?
The Viking Raiders.
Thank you. I was like, they changed it so many times. Ivar, happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's today. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Also celebrating a birthday. Yeah. Also celebrating a birthday. Now, I don't know did he change his name now? Because now that they're not, grizzled young vets, the Schism do they have individual names now?
Yeah, they do. For sure they do.
They do. Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what he was going by, but James
I have no idea.
Birthday. But
James Drake,
happy birthday. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what his schism name is because it doesn't say. So,
no idea.
I know we don't do research. Well, I don't. So, whatever. And then Mr. Kennedy, happy birthday. Tyler Bate, happy birthday. Chad Gable is going to be celebrating a birthday as well.
Tyler Bate and Chad Gable have birthdays that close?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. We also have a lot of ROH ones. Now, did they sign Dr. PJ Black?
I have no idea who that is.
Did they re-sign him?
No idea who that is.
I don't know. But they should. Happy birthday. Dalton Castle, the Party Peacock, happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
One person I'm not, I'm not a fan of. She's okay. Jordan Grace, happy birthday, girlfriend. Chase Owens, Bullet Club for Life, baby. Happy birthday. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, Bruce Pritchard celebrating his birthday this week.
Oh, fuck yeah, Bruce.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Bruce.
So, happy birthday, Bruce. And those are your birthdays.
Kiro says Bald Schism dude is Rip Fowler and the other is Jagger Reed. Dude, I know I've heard it before, and that still feels like the first time I've ever heard it.
Jagger Reed is what James.
That's the one.
Going.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Marsh, look at my background now. Was that what
No.
you saw on TV?
It looks like your security.
No. I'm
It
sitting
does.
on the actual side the fans sit on.
I know, but
With
you
my
look like
head barely
security
over
because I
the
don't
rail.
know if you've ever seen the security standing there. They sit with their back to the
No.
the barrier
Yeah.
and they look towards the audience. That's what you look like in
But
this
that was my
moment because
view.
I know this is your view, but you
I
look
know.
like your security because you've got your back to the ring.
I probably would do
So
a better job.
could be.
Give me the shirt. I'll probably do a better
Kuro's
job
telling
than
me to
Aubrey
watch
out there.
Impact. You had your chance, Kuro. When I told you I needed someone to come on, I said if you came on, I would watch Impact, and you did not. So now I don't get to watch it.
Yeah, Kuro. Yeah.
This
Now
is
I
the
will
stupidest
say,
shit. Why would he say this shit? Hendry used a Dreamcast to help win a match. Fuck that. I'm not watching that.
I believe in Joe Hendry. And you know what?
I don't believe in
Hold on.
Dreamcast.
Well, hold on. I'll be right back. I will talk. You can hear me. You just can't see me.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'll be back. Hold on.
All right. I'll do that and then you can just come back.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But no,
Hendry
I
used
was
a
told, Kiro,
Dreamcast.
that Impact I should be watching, and apparently they had a good Vegas taping event, I guess.
Every
last
time I
weekend?
hear that I gotta watch it, I'll check out some stuff that's just they always have good stuff, but there's also so much other stuff that I just go, this is fucking like what like the idea we're using a fucking video game console to win a match. Like I don't like the Miracle on 34th Street match that WWE does every year. I don't like when they use Legos. I don't like that shit. It's like it's not endearing to me. It's like a mockery to me. You go, isn't it funny? Okay, well, so yeah, they always do stuff, and I mean, all the stuff with Bully. It's some of the stuff is so telegraphed and phony that it's like it tries so hard to be real that it comes off phony. So yeah, I'm not watching because I used a Dreamcast. Yeah, Amanda's almost back. But we are going to talk real quick some NXT stuff before we get into Miss Amanda Jayne's Dynamite adventures and about how she needs a Netflix account desperately.
Okay. I am back.
Ta-da.
See, I told you. I do believe in Joe Hendry.
If you came back with a Dreamcast shirt, I would have liked it more.
Well, I don't have one. But Joe Hendry had a thing where if you bought his shirt, he would actually sing a song about you or a little line of a song. And I'm like, this guy's not going to do it. So I did. No, very few people did it. But I got mine. I was like,
oh, yeah?
Love the guy. Love the guy.
Did he send it like was it like a cameo thing or was it like on the show?
No, he actually recorded it and it was on Twitter. It was on social media. It wasn't even on Cameo. It was fucking free. You buy a shirt. And actually ROH's shirts back in the day, the really, really good soft style ones.
Yeah. All right.
But Pro Wrestling Tees was not doing their merch. So
yeah. They suck, man. Let's see. I want to talk to you about some NXT stuff. Did you watch much of this episode?
It was okay, except one thing stood out for me.
So this was my big standout. As I was watching it, I watched it and then I reflected on it and thought, you know what? All in all, realistically, it's a good show. It had good matches and they're moving stuff along. I think the problem in the disconnect, and we've talked about it before, is that we do all know it is developmental. So you watch it kind of with that eye at times, like watching people grow and get better. There's a ton of women in here. And I think one of the reasons they shine so much is because they have identifiable progress week to week. You see them getting much better week in and week out. A lot of the guys they're signing and bringing in and doing stuff with have been doing the same thing. Like, look, I love Tyler Bate and I love Carmelo Hayes. I watched this match and in my mind thought nothing's changed about them in 3 years. They look the same, they perform the same, they're having the same matches, they're cutting the same promos. That's not to say it's bad. It's to say that it's very good. That I can't see on TV what you're getting any better at. So then it becomes a shit or get off the pot kind of concept. Are you going to be the Johnny Gargano or Ciampa that are just here for fucking 5 or 6 years doing just that? And that's your thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think with the women, you see them and you go, oh, in a couple years, they're going to be in WrestleMania. They're going to be that good. You see Carmelo and Tyler Bate and you go, they could have been in WrestleMania last year. You know what I mean? And so the disconnect is you're watching people learn and watching other people clearly be, I don't mean stagnant in a bad way, but they're being stagnant. They're not growing in a way that we're seeing. So we're watching developmental and half the roster is not developing. They're already developed with few exceptions, like Carol brings up. Hank Walker, he's a perfect guy for this because we're watching him grow and get better. The beginning of his promo backstage was kind of goofy and stupid, but the rest of it was really good. Like that fake kind of like he didn't want to be interviewed or something. And you're all like, no, your character kind of is really happy to be here and probably would like that someone's bringing attention to him, right? Hank Walker, I love watching because I'm watching him better. Joe Gacy, I love watching because I'm watching him add layers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like Wes Lee has been cool to watch because we're watching him go through changes, whether they were his own fault or not, right? We're watching him get a deeper character. Nathan Frazier, he's fun to watch, but week to week, okay, I don't know. He's not become anything yet, like from a charisma standpoint. So you see why he might be there. He's got to work on character. But in the meantime, go have banger matches with Wes Lee. Fuck yeah, I'm down for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. A lot of the top talent is just there and you don't know why they're there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I think that the problem is that there's no homes for anybody. And when I'm thinking about it now, where's Cameron Grimes? What is Cameron Grimes doing?
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like, you know, it's a bad move. And I really honestly, the best move should have been he should have been Uncle Howdy or a version of Uncle Howdy and have the LA Knight feud again on a bigger scale. And I think it would have been magic.
But it's something.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. I feel like Carmelo right now, I think he would be good in Hurt Business.
I mean, there's no Hurt Business right now, so it's kind of weird.
No, or whatever.
Book him 2 years ago.
Well, they should have, but anyways,
yeah,
or whatever, something in there. I don't know. I don't watch his shit. I don't know.
But Carmelo has no reason not to be, you know, in matches against Ricochet on the main roster. You know what I mean?
No shit.
Start getting used to the bigger crowds. You know,
Ricochet took him forever to get where he is.
Yeah, and we've seen progress with him. Like Indus Shear, they put Veer back there, re-tagged him up with his old buddy, and then brought them back a few steps.
Yeah.
Sangha. I mean, they're now doing something with gender, which is cool, but it's kind of what it should have been a while ago. And they both made strides in their character to get further away from this, and then now they're back to it, and you're just kind of like, well, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's just a big disconnect between this and the main roster. And I'd almost wish that Braun Breaker would have moved up already, that Carmelo would have moved up, Tyler Bate moved up, and make space for some of these people who need to learn how to do this stuff. And have like a Jinder be your champion for a while, because he's been doing it long enough and believable enough that like he could be your champion for the same amount of time that Breaker has been, believably, and have a bunch of baby faces growing underneath him trying to take him down. You know what I mean? Especially with a faction like with guys like Jinder and Sangha behind him. He'd be a fucking force. And then you could have all these, I don't know. But the women are great to watch because they're fucking phenomenal and they're growing every day. Tiffany and Katana was such a cool match. I think they have massive futures ahead of them. Sol Ruka and Elektra Lopez was not a bad match, but it definitely, to me, highlighted why Elektra Lopez had to come back to NXT. Why she wasn't going to get called up to SmackDown. She needs a lot of work if she's going to be an in-ring performer and not just a valet. Where with Zelina, she's primarily going to be a valet and probably do some physicality from time to time. I think the goal for Elektra is to have her doing physicality a lot of the time. So it makes sense why she's back. But yeah, I don't know. Watching it was a fun show, but like, yeah, with few exceptions, you're kind of watching people who you're not sure why they're there. And I think it's a big disconnect.
Well,
Maiko and Zoe was real fucking good.
Well, because it's Mako. That's the thing. Is like we tend to forget that, in certain scenarios that, that's some great shit. So, but I don't know. I mean, that's just,
And even with Braun Breaker, you could make, let's see what Kiro says, because he just brought up Braun Breaker. He thinks Dempsey is a big staleness of NXT. Almost feels like he's being punished for being Regal's kid. I actually feel the opposite. I feel like putting him with Gulak has actually done him wonders as far as giving him a direction for his character to go, especially further away from Chase U, which is good. He says for Braun Breaker is for some reason being treated like he's Roman Reigns in NXT, and it's killing his character because NXT has given no reason for him to be unbeatable. Just that he's explosive, yeah. But another thing is this, is that I think that there's definitely room for guys like Carmelo and Tyler and Braun Breaker to grow. They're definitely not perfect, but we haven't seen growth in a year. You know what I mean? So to me, it comes down to, have they gotten all they're going to get out of NXT, and it's time to move them on and say, are you going to actually make it though? You've gotten everything we know how to teach you. It's up to you now, right? And then move them on to the main roster. I think Braun's got a long way to go before he main events WrestleMania, but I don't know that in the last year he's learned anything or shown anything that we can perceive on our side, because clearly I think they're all learning all the time.
Yep.
From the outside looking in, from what I'm seeing week to week, I'm seeing nothing different for a year. I think a change of scenery could be good for him, just for us to be able to see him getting better as he goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, I think with Braun now, you're getting the Cena treatment, and that's not a good thing. So
yeah, now you're starting to split the crowd because they haven't seen a growth. He came in super explosive, had these crazy good matches right away. Everyone said, this is our dude. And a lot of people even said, why is he even down here? He should be on the main roster. A year later, we're getting the same exact stuff, and people are tired of it, because if you're watching NXT, it's because you want to watch the journey. They don't get the same viewership as SmackDown. Let's just use SmackDown. They're getting a fraction of what SmackDown gets, because a lot of people tune into SmackDown to see the best that WWE has right now, which is the Bloodline storyline, to see the Sammys and Kevins and Bloodline. And, people tune in to Raw to see the best the women's have. You know what I mean? They want to see Becky and Damage Control and them. People tune in to NXT at a much smaller number because they want to see the journey. They literally want to see you fall on your face and get back up and keep fighting and keep doing it. They want the Wesley story. Come in, fiery hot, just killing it immediately. And something fucking happens, and his whole career is shook. And we get to watch him rebuild himself right in front of us. So by the time he gets to the main roster, he's a polished, all-around guy. So I think that when we're not seeing it, we're disconnecting from it, because we're watching NXT to see that journey, to see the growth. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But here's my question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
When growth gets stale, right? What do you do? Because are you trying to go and do like AEW type of booking where you just beat the shit out of it like a dead horse? It's the same shit over and over and over again. Or what do you do? Because that's how Braun Breaker feels like to me now. It's the same booking that Tony Khan does every single week.
Yeah, so I'm saying move Braun away from NXT. If we're not going to see a discernible growth anymore, then put him on the road. Put him on SmackDown. Put them on Raw. Have them out there starting in early matches, mid-card stuff. Put them in a feud with Dolph Ziggler or some shit. I don't know. I mean, they've got history, right? Why not put them back with Dolph Ziggler for a couple matches in a row? Then have them in a thing with Chad Gable. You know what I mean? Like, move them around down there and have them in there with other people, other veterans, instead of kind of how they've been doing it, because we're not seeing the growth and it's getting stale. I think sometimes if we're not seeing it, we're disconnecting from it, because NXT is where you go to see that. You know, if I'm not going to see him get different or change, then change where he is so it feels different, feels new.
Do you feel Schism is only there to really develop Gacy? Or
I think it's developing all of them.
Really? But
I
they
think
were creating Grizzled Young Vets. I loved them.
They were stupid. To me, I thought they were so done as Grizzled Young Vets. I was over them. But that was because they came out week after week. They were great in ring. That's not the problem. The problem is their character we're Grizzled Young Vets, and every week we're the soon to be, and it was a fucking gimmicky soon. It was lame that they wouldn't they wouldn't stop doing, and it made them look like less than, because they were always soon to be the champions and they never were the champions. So for 4 years, I've watched you say that you're the soon to be champions, that you're just that good. We're the Grizzled Young Vets. We are young, but wrestle like people who've been doing it for 16, 17 years. But then you're not winning any of these matches. I thought that whole gimmick had to be, I thought it had to change. I had mentioned it before they went through the big thing. I wouldn't have ever guessed this was the direction to take them, but I was totally over the Grizzled Young Vets for sure.
This is driving me to drink now. I need alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, you broke me, Marsh.
But all in all, the show was solid. Like, it was a fun show to watch. But when I'm watching things and realizing I've disconnected from stuff, like Brooks and Briggs, I'm so disconnected from them because I haven't liked where the character started nor where it's going. And the characters have largely been the same for a year as well. We've had the same Briggs is not a ladies' man story this whole fucking time. And that's his whole character, is he's just fucks up in the ring because he just can't get laid outside of the ring. Like, that's not a character that I'm super
sure he gets
invested
laid
in.
Outside the ring.
Not according to storyline. They had a whole storyline where he was out with injury because he hurt his wrist masturbating too much. That was part of his story. And it's like, it could be funny around your character, but that is his entire character. The guy who masturbates so bad he breaks his wrist. Like, I think that the disconnect comes when it's like we're watching just shit get stale. You know what I mean? And you're watching, and here's the other thing. Shawn Michaels has had the same sense of humor since he was 12. So he's going to laugh at everything that these kids do and say that's funny because that's what kids think is funny or some shit. And I don't find a lot of it funny. I think a lot of the humor on NXT is really bad. I don't think all the humor on main roster is great. But a lot of this humor that they put here is bad. So I don't know. I think the women are killing it, and I want all these women to keep getting these long matches because I want them to get to the main roster and fucking flourish. It also feels like, it almost feels like they told HBK, we need to fill out our women's roster on the main roster. We need a lot of women to get through developmental real fast. Yeah, because why else would you have Maiko versus Zoe? But even though more so, Soul versus Elektra. They're both really young still. Tiffany versus Katana. Who's teaching who in some of these matches? You know what I mean? But they're both like doing the thing. So I don't know. The women, I think, are killing it because we're seeing them get so good that you're anxious for them to get to the main roster. And the men, I think, are in a point where they're coming in so good already that for the most part, it's not like we're anxious to see them on the main roster. We just don't know why the fuck you're not on the main roster. You're just here taking up main event time. You've been having the same match and the same main events week after week for 3 years. So go have that on the mid card so you can work yourself up to a higher level. I want to see you get better. This is part of the journey. You have to leave now. God, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
But
You
what was
know
the
who
big
I
standout you had? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna lean into this. I said, you know, ones that I think it's time and I hope they move is what my standout was Gigi Dolan.
Oh my God, Gigi Dolan fucking crushed that.
God. Now, I'll say this. I've seen her on the indies more times than whatever. Um,
Mhm.
and I didn't like her gimmick, the thing with the tampon, a little extreme. I always thought I don't know why this girl's wrestling because, I remembered, you know, when people discovered that she was on the Gypsy Wedding thing,
Mhm.
that reality show.
Yep.
And so for me, I'm like, oh, you know, don't know. That's kind of weird. But I look at it from where she has been to now. It's unbelievable because I don't think that when whoever found her, I don't know if it was Regal or whomever, um, I don't think they saw what she is now. And if they did, I'm shocked because of what you saw then when she was signed. It was like, what the hell, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
blows
I
me
don't
away.
know. I don't know what talent want in certain situations, realistically, right? Because like you always don't want to be the dude who counted somebody out. You know what I mean? Or to say, you don't want to be the person they cut promos about being like, when people thought I couldn't do it, you always want to be like, I believed. And I definitely didn't. I'm definitely one of those people who definitely counted her out because of all the stuff I saw in the indies. I was like, I don't see how this would translate onto a bigger screen. I don't see how someone would see this and say, I want to groom this and put it on my TV. Like, yeah, I was one of those people. I mean, I don't think I was outwardly trashing her online or on the show or anything because I typically just don't talk about stuff when I really don't like it. And I was just like, I'm not gonna waste my time or efforts on trashing anybody, right? But
Yeah, absolutely.
except Gargano. But yeah, I
Well,
definitely had
that's a
thought I
given.
definitely didn't see how you could get to here, right? So watching her show up and
Mhm.
present herself the way that she did and get to this moment in this promo, like I'm blown away and floored by it. I'm a huge fan of hers, and she can definitely give a big "I told you so" and "fuck you, dude." And I even love part of this promo where she said she's always just been happy just surviving. That was always good
Yeah.
enough just to survive, and that hit really hard too because that was like some people's successes are just getting by. You know what I mean? And to see her get all the way to here is like, yeah, I'm sure we weren't the only two people who saw her in arena and just went like, I don't see where you go from here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
Hmm.
she's got fucking heart, and you saw it there, and you saw her put it out there in that promo, and that's what really got me too. Was I was like, she did all those things, maybe not even because she thought it was the best idea, but just she thought it would get her by the next one. Well, at least it'll get me on one more show. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I was blown away by this, and it's amazing what she's up to, and I think. I mean, again, the only issue I have with her and JC being split is that's one less women's tag team in the world that I thought was doing fucking great together. And they were doing great together. And I think they're going to do awesome. They're going to do awesome on the other side of each other in the ring. But I'll always be all like, oh, what could have been for another tag team in the big division? But what's going on with the tag division on the main roster? Maybe it's for the best. Fuck. But
Honestly, like I think that I have a feeling that they were all going to go. They were going to go as the three of them, and that really Mandy and that whole thing put a big wrench into it. But
yeah,
even then, Mandy could have been on her, doing the singles thing with the girls as a team. They could
yeah,
have
like
even
damage control.
they could have had a lot of dominance.
Yeah, I think so.
I could have even saw an inaugural a 6-woman with them and damage control.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have
Yeah,
been great because you don't necessarily in that one, you don't need heel face in that, you know? it's just the content of who's there and everything was just gonna be just tremendous. So you already knew what you were getting into. So that's where I'm like, ugh. So is it best? I don't know, but they need to move up now because I think without Mandy, it's stale. We get stale.
I don't think it's stale yet, but at the same time, what's on the other side? Yeah, I think main roster should be on the other side of that feud because, I think it's a fair thing too. Is it best? I don't know, but are they making the best out of what they have? Absolutely. You know what I mean?
They have to.
Because they don't have a lot of choice, and they're killing it.
Yeah.
They're killing it. Gigi's doing awesome, and she's shutting up idiots like us online every day, and I love it. So keep doing you. You know.
No, but actually, why would people shut us up? Let me ask you
I'm
this.
saying us 5 years ago. We're. You know what I mean? Like when we just said, well, no one's gonna want that, and then now look, we're like, well, she should definitely be on the main roster, feuding with big time talent. I want to see her WrestleMania in a year. You know what I mean? Because we were wrong. That's all there is to it. And I think it's okay to be wrong. And then, sometimes we haven't had our bottle of Old Crow in quite some time, but sometimes you got to eat a little crow and say, yep, I was wrong on that one for sure.
Yeah, well, with WWE and NXT, we've had to eat more crow than the other one because right now the other one we're booking.
Yeah, we're right about that one a lot. Do you want to talk about that one? Anything else on NXT that you wanted to hit on? Because I'm ready to hear your adventures in AEW.
Yeah, but I really do want to make the one comment. Sorry, my glasses are all like slippy slidey, a little too loose. I do want to say that I don't like having roadblock between now and Stand and Deliver.
Yeah,
is that what
I get the idea,
but what they're calling it?
Yeah, but it's another Dynamite. I've never been a big fan of naming all these weekly shows a different thing to pretend it's a bigger thing than it is. Like having Halloween Havoc on just a Dynamite, make it a Saturday show. Having Roadblock on another Dynamite, make it a Saturday show. Like Dynamite, I don't like it. I don't like. Yeah, winter is coming. Let it be a regular show. You know what I mean? Like make that a Saturday show. Like sure, but I'm saying like
I miss it.
I don't like AEW doing it. I don't like NXT doing it. And if you notice, SmackDown and Raw don't do it. They never have next week on Raw. The most you get is Raw 30. 30th anniversary. But, you know what I mean?
Oh, they don't do
like,
that.
You don't.
They don't do that stupid shit anymore. The casino theme with the wheel. You know
it
what
was
I'm talking
still
about?
Raw. But even when they did the spin the wheel, make a deal, it was still Raw. It was Raw. And they were going to have spin the wheel, make a deal on it. And even was it the Cyber Sunday was a Sunday show. They did a thing that was like it, but on Sunday. Like, I don't like renaming your weekly show a different name to pretend it's a bigger deal than it is. It's your fuck. Because it also, I think, undermines the importance of watching weekly. If you say, hey, every Dynamite we're doing cool shit, except in 2 weeks, that Dynamite is special. Well, then what I got to watch for the next 2 weeks? You just told me your next 2 weeks is not special. Make your weekly shows special, and then your special shows also special. Like, fuck. Like, it undermines the weekly nature of wanting to watch every week when you tell me every third or fourth week we'll make it actually a good one. We're going to put more effort into it. Fuck that. Yeah. Put in that effort in all of them. That's what bothers me is that there's that subtle psychology of when you name NXT next week Roadblock, that tells me that NXT this week is not important. Because it's just leading to next week. So nothing's going to happen until next week. Yeah, but I mean, it's some of those things we got to pick on. But yeah, tell me about your AEW Dynamite. What was this one? Was this Wake in the Quake? Was this the Cry in the Bay?
I felt like it, but no. This was just your standard Dynamite, you know. I want to preface this before I start into my adventure. If you are a regular listener to this lovely, I don't want to call it, if you're a regular listener or even our casual viewer, and you know who the hell we are, y'all know I have not gone to any AEW event. Marsh has been to one, right?
Nope. Not in the stands.
You didn't go to... No?
I was at Double or Nothing in Vegas,
but you didn't
and
go.
I was offered tickets to be in the arena, and I opted not to. And I did a watch a watch along thing at StarCast, and it was like Blue Meanie, Sean Mooney,
Okay.
fuck, it wasn't Al Snow, Joel Gertner, and someone else. I forget the other person because they weren't sitting near us at all. But we were just all in this big room in the big like where they were doing some of their live podcasts with a big screen, and they were projecting it, and we were all watching together like that. And I was like, this is a fun watch party. I want to be in the arena, right? And there was when I think about the Dustin and Cody match, that's the one where I go, you know what, that would have been worth being in the room for. But also when I think about when we watched it, some of the suspense we got out of it was watching Dustin bleed so much and turning around to see Blue Meanie and Joel Gertner look at each other and go, that's fucking bad. You know what I mean? Like that added the suspense for me, because when we went, oh fuck, Blue Meanie thinks this guy's stuck. You know what I mean? Like watching some of these guys who've been doing it forever with the hands over their mouths, like, fuck, this is me being on the edge of my seat and turning around and seeing that they're not even in their seats. Like that added to it to me, that I think I don't know. I wouldn't have got that in the arena, so I don't regret it. But that's the only one thing that I was like, that'd be cool to see live. But with that in mind, yeah, I haven't been in the arena. You're the first one of us all to go. I avoided the one in Phoenix too.
Yeah.
Offered tickets to that one as well.
In the front row at Phoenix, that guy stealing your gimmick wearing the ref shirt.
I've seen a few ref.
No, would have been great. Would have been if you had gone and you were like in the front, you guys could have been that Spider-Man photo. You know, pointing at each other. You know? But,
no.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to reconnect real quick. So you tell them what's going on.
Okay. So I am prefacing with the fact that this is our first ever adventure into AEW. I had high expectation. I had medium expectations. I had no expectation. All 3 levels were hit. And shockingly, not where I thought they would be hit. So I guess the starters would be, behind me is the legendary Cow Palace. Okay.
Big shouts to Flow State Coffee.
Flow State Coffee. Sponsored, not sponsored moment.
Yep, sponsored, not sponsored. Go to newwave.com, NOOWAVE.co for your new state Flow State coffee. Specialty grade coffee with L-theanine and raw cacao for creativity and productivity, better energy, focus, and mood than a regular cup of coffee, while decreasing negative side effects like jitters and crash. Yeah, big shouts to those guys, because they don't really advertise it, but the font they use is Cow Palace font. They actually showed someone the sign for the Cow Palace and said, we want our font to look like it's the Cow Palace.
Really?
Because the guy who makes this isn't former indie wrestler trained by Lance Storm.
But the Cow Palace of all places, though. I did not know this story. Interesting.
Yep. That's why if you look at the C on there, it's got that weird little hook. It's hard to do without it getting thing. But like, if you look at the Flow State Coffee, I took a picture and posted on it next to the Cow Palace sign so people could really see. And big shouts to former sponsors, not sponsors.
There'll always be a sponsor, not sponsored.
Right here.
Official.
My heart. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shout out. But yeah, no. And I saw that. And then that was the first thing that Marsh, I was like, oh my God, they didn't even put their AEW was there on the marquee. The marquee wasn't even working. So I had to show Marsh how ghetto it was.
Yeah, I know. You sent me the sign and said it's not even lit up, and I thought, oh, maybe the name lights up, but it didn't even occur to me that it didn't say that there is even a show inside of there.
Nope. Nope. Just another day on Geneva Avenue. Nobody cares. I showed Marsh a picture of this ghetto ass project looking apartments that were right across the street. It took me 45 minutes to get into the parking lot. They were not prepared. Not prepared at all. Which is interesting. I don't know why they had 2 price parking levels, because they said, oh, it's 15 or 20. Well, they were only offering the $20 parking. So that's a sham right there. But you know what? On Sunday, the parking's $50.
Yo, I get so fucking pissed at all this. I think parking is a national issue. And if any president ever said they're going to take away paid for parking, I would vote for them in a second, because it's such a scam, these places. We The event parking specifically pisses me off because you have an empty parking garage that's $10 max a day. But for the next 2 hours, where no one was going to be there to park, but now you have an influx of a ton of people, now you want to price gouge them. Now it's $20 for the next 2 hours instead of the $10 a day, just because you know there's an event. It's an event parking. If there were not an event, it'd be an empty parking lot day after day after day. And instead of just leaving the rates the same and making that extra money you would not have made if the event didn't show up, you want to price gouge the fans of the show and make them try to circle the block and find other places to park just because you guys are being a dick. You know what I mean? People are either going to be forced and mad to park there, or people are going to avoid parking there from then on out. I get pissed about parking, Amanda. I'm glad you brought this up.
Okay. I'm going to put on my work hat right now.
All right, do it.
We all know what I do for a living. I'm not going to go into that. If you don't know, then you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I have an answer to that.
Okay.
What city are you talking about in your
specifically
scenario?
That
here?
The one that's in my mind that's making me the most mad is Tempe. Second to that, Vegas makes me even more mad because they don't even have that issue. They just fucking do it. But Tempe did it to me.
Well, hold on. First of all, Vegas is a different beast, but
I know. I mean, Vegas is such a beast that it's hard to be too mad at them because you're like, all right, you assholes, you're all ass about everything.
Because you know how much more free parking they have everywhere else?
That's what I mean. Vegas is a different beast. So I get mad at Vegas, but
all right,
I'm more mad at Tempe, Arizona.
Okay. All right. Let me, if you will, Tempe, Arizona. I'm going to compare it to San Francisco, California.
Okay.
Talk to me about the real estate. How much does it cost to have an apartment in Tempe, Arizona? A 1-bedroom apartment. Downtown.
What are the apartments in Phoenix right now? Are they a couple grand?
A 1-bedroom downtown.
I think last time we were looking at some of that, you're talking probably 1,200.
I think it's more than that.
1,200 to two grand.
I think more than 1,200
for a 1-bedroom. What's I mean? I think 12 to 15 is a safe bet. Downtown,
like in downtown.
Safe bet.
Downtown.
She's gonna pull it up.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
A 1-bedroom apartment in downtown San Francisco. $3,700. Okay. And there's no parking. There's very few little bit of street parking, not much. But we have a lot of smash and grabs. It's been happening for years and years, even pre-pandemic. So there's safety in paying $50. And if you're a SF Giants fan, y'all are stupid motherfuckers. You pay $75 for parking. Sometimes $100. Now,
right.
It's secure, but it's because the real estate is so expensive. So that's why. Now,
no. But what about the event parking spike? The same parking garage, which is theoretically $10 a day, will charge you $25 to park there for the next 2 hours because there's a show nearby.
They don't have that in San Francisco. It's either there's the early bird special. If you go in, it's usually maybe $15, but you got to be in by a certain time and out by a certain time. Okay. Then when you have the places where there's event parking, right? Problem with that is that the event parking, usually because of where these new arenas are built in downtown areas, there is no parking. So that's where people price gouge. But that's a whole different topic for another day. But this place, empty lot, $20. Usually nothing goes on in that lot. It's just land. So they're making cash hand over fist. So, but you should know that you technically are supposed to have 6,000 people at this event coming in. You probably figure the Bay Area, 25% of these people do not have a vehicle. So it'll be rideshare, public transportation, which is not a good situation over there. The rest will all be driving in. So they're making money there. Now, look behind me in my background. I got there maybe about 20 minutes before they were inside, I'm saying, and after going to the bathroom, 20 minutes before the show started, not the live show, but the YouTube, wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Which I was bored as shit. But anyways, so
So
we
they
sat
record
through
predominantly the
Elevation.
Dark Elevation. Was that all before the show, or did they do any after the show as well?
Dark Elevation was all before the show, except for the main event. But I'll get into that when we get there.
Okay.
So shout out to the Bay Area talent, Sandra Moon, who she wrestled in Fresno a couple of weeks back when they were in California the last time after LA. She looked good then. She looked like trash. There was another person, I didn't know who it was, and Marina Shafir versus Marina Shafir and Nyla. Okay, comment, and I'm not being mean. If you get the shot, people, to do something like this that actually has, professional cameras, professional lighting, step your gear up. I know you're not supposed to be really fancy, but wash it, bling it a little, do something. It was not good. So that match was a mess. We got to see, if anybody ever here has watched Hood Slam, there's a character called Drugs Bunny. I forgot he cut his hair, so I didn't recognize him at first, but he actually was in one of those matches. He's a really great wrestler, and that was cool to see him. He's the one who wrestles Lance Archer. So shout out to Lance Archer for getting another job where he can lace his boots again. Speaking of other people, and this will be later. Also, same thing. Shout out to the workhorseman, JD Drake. I haven't seen JD Drake wrestle in more than probably Lance Archer. So shout out to them for actually getting some work this weekend.
Yeah.
Good on you, Tony Khan. Good on you. So there is one I want people to watch when Dark Elevation comes out. How much they make
per match? I wonder the people who aren't signed. The people who aren't signed, who only work their dark events and stuff, like Danny Jordan stepped away from wrestling for a while. I wonder how much she was getting, like not her specifically, but like her specifically, how much some of the talent gets when they're not signed but are just kind of a per match deal.
I'm gonna ask Titus Alexander. Because there's West Coast Bro on Saturday. I'm on the fence about going, but we do see new women's tag team champion Lita. She's a special guest referee. Oh yeah, she's a special guest referee of our match. Well, because remember she lives in San Francisco.
See if they'll give you her.
I've seen her there a couple of times, but I never want to bug Amy. I'm just like,
no,
she's just here, whatever. But when I've talked to her before, she's always been cool.
Try and get that ref shirt that she uses.
I will ask her if she's using an official ref shirt. I will ask, and I'll say how much, and she'll probably look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, it's not for me, girl. I work with her.
How much for that ref shirt?
That ref shirt? I'm like the rate he's going, he could probably fit into it soon. Who knows? I don't know. Just saying.
No, it's got to be all cut up, right? Most of them cut off at least the sleeves. Like I can't imagine any wrestler.
No, some of them actually women's ones. They get them the women's fit.
Yeah, that's true too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not shout out to Aubrey Edwards. She's still the worst ref in the fucking planet. But anyways,
okay. So you're watching Dark Elevation. Did it elevate your excitement?
Okay, the one match I recommend for anybody to really check out, and if they don't sign Titus, this is a very stupid move, Tony Khan, because he was amazing. He wrestled Juice Robinson.
Oh wow!
Or I like to call him Mr. Tony Storm.
Yeah.
But it was a really great match. I mean, Juice. What I love about Juice Robinson is that Juice Robinson is one of the most underrated workers right now. Yeah. That's not technically signed to an American company.
Yeah, he's a lot better than people give him credit for. I agree.
But Hero, if I'm wrong and he is signed to Impact, please let me know. Because a lot of them do Impact quite a bit. So, but anyways,
I wonder how many of them
this,
freelance match to match too.
yeah.
Such a neat
But this match
industry.
was great. I
Yeah.
want you guys to watch it. If you want to see Future, they're called the Future Legend, and there's a reason why. Guy is good. He's not a flippy shit kid. That's not his thing. He's a very good, sound, well-rounded wrestler. And that's the kind of people I think that probably in this state in the game are your best bets, because one, they're not going to do anything totally risky for injury.
Mm-hmm.
And two, they're able to emote well enough to give you a good, credible storyline, and hopefully long-term storyline. So he's one, in my opinion, definitely to want to watch. When I first saw him, I was like, he needed a little bit of work, but he had the potential, because he doesn't do flippy shit. It is like, and not all mat work, not all like that hitting and whatever. It was just very, very well rounded. Could do a little lucha if he really wanted to, but he doesn't need to. That's not his thing. So, really incredible person to keep an eye on. And with him versus Juice, those two working together really displayed what he can do and what the future is like. And when I saw that match, I mean, that was the only one of those dark ones where I was like glued to what was going on. Amazing thing. It was amazing. So please, if you don't watch the internet wrestling, I don't anymore. Every once in a while I will. That's one to watch. And I'll go back and watch these ones. That one, and then probably the one with Archer again. Because boy, Drugs Bunny sold the shit out of that. But he wasn't his Drugs Bunny character. So, but Tony Khan would have an affinity with that, because that's a snorting bunny. Hood Slam. Shout out to Hood Slam. Little sad that they're not running this weekend. I wish they did, because basically, when you go to AEW after dark, the Dark Elevation or whatever they do that whole fan etiquette thing. I don't know if they do that at WWE shows. I haven't been to one in a long time. But I will say this. No matter, Excalibur does it. So I'm kind of like, I'm not going to fucking listen to Excalibur. And they don't want you to do, lewd gestures, but people flip people off anyways. Or, do all that stuff. And,
WWE doesn't do those because it's bullshit and they know it. AEW is doing it because... Well, AEW started doing a liability thing. They're even trying to say that they have no liability, because I've seen that get posted too. That here's the code of conduct for the fans, and also if you get hurt, that's your own fault, and you just accept the risk of that. And if a wrestler comes flying out of the ring and hits you and cuts you with a razor blade that happens to be stuck to him, that's kind of your own risk that you're willing to take, which is not legally a real thing. You don't get to say that and then just have it legally be. You say that hoping to scare people away from suing you, because you're in the wrong. It's like when someone says, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to assume that means you quit. And then if you don't do it, they go, well, you quit. You go, no. You don't get to assume intent on someone else's behalf. You know what I mean? Like, that's an HR problem, legal problem. AEW is trying to protect themselves legally because they know they're in the wrong right now.
Yeah. So I guess what they were trying to tell me, and this is how I understood it myself, don't be grabbing Ricky Stark's ass when he comes out, because I was in the corner. As you see, I'm in that preferred little turnbuckle and corner when he does come out in an entrance. All I would have saw was Stark's ass, and I would have had the best photos, and I probably would have said something obscene, and they would have kicked me out.
Worth it.
But you know what? You know what's obscene? I'll tell you what's obscene. This is a big revelation that happened. When I looked over at Hardcam side, I was looking around in the front. Who do I know out here? I knew nobody in the front row, except for the promoters that got comped. Shout out to Gabe from Pro Wrestling Revolution. Shout out to Scotty from West Coast Pro. And finally, the man who deserved to sit where he sat, front row center on that side, Marcus fucking Mack from APW. That is where the Book of Harbs chapter 1 started. And I was so happy to see Marcus there. And he's running soon again. And he's about to take over the fucking bay. Because he said, he told me, he's like, I asked him, because you know me, I'm like, I know you're cool with Marty. Are you going to bring him back? He's like, Marty wants to wrestle for me. He can fucking come back as much as he wants. So I think fucking Marty Skrull is going to be wrestling and fucking heard it here first. He's potentially going to be wrestling a lot in San Francisco. And guess who's going to be one happy fucking camper? This girl. Mm-hmm. So if this happens, Marsh, you got to come. You and producer lady got to make the trek. Because
well, apparently if it's a lot, then we have plenty of time.
Oh, yeah. A lot. But go the first one at least, because just in case, because Marcus says he gives no fucks. I mean, Drake Younger was a staple up here. I know Drake Younger a little crazy, but you know what? My experience now is it's like, you know what? Let people like what they like. If that guy's a kook, whatever. Was he convicted for being no. There are wrestlers out there, and I won't say their names, that have been convicted of things. And who are we to judge? Especially if I'm some girl who's like, oh, this person's a rapist or this person's a pedophile, but here, buy my OnlyFans. No, don't work like that.
Besides, well, those aren't equated. But did you want to talk about the show you went to? Because this has been a long time. You're talking about Marty Skrull again.
So sorry, tangent. Sorry.
We still haven't gotten to the opening match, and I've asked you about the show for 20 minutes.
Oh my God. Yeah, we should call him. Oh, you know what you should draw for me is a Marty that looks like a squirrel that looks like Marty. That's Amanda's new thing. So yeah, like, squirrel. Oh, when what cartoon was that? But anyways, yeah. Squirrel.
Yeah.
Same thing. Anyways. I noticed in the front row, I knew besides the promoters, I was the only other person I knew. I didn't know anybody. Because why? But they all look familiar to me. And it hit me right before that they were going to start the taping. I saw the bitch and her husband who wear the sequin jackets. These people all traveled. All. And it pissed me off because you should have local flavor at some of these shows. So people can, is this your first time here? Those fans are boring. They were rude as shit. They stood up the whole time. And let me tell you, if I had got one of those seats, I would have gotten into a fist fight. I bet you need to sit the fuck down, motherfucker. They stood the whole time. There was a clump of them. And it pissed me off. The entitlement. I just sat there the whole night and I was looking, and it wasn't a jealousy thing, people. I was like, that is rude. This is my house. Okay. I'm going to fucking steal that from Saraya. I'm stealing it from Swerve. This is my house. Okay. Y'all are visitors. Y'all need to respect the house. Okay. So that pissed me off. And then it made me think, did these people get preferential treatment? Are these people plants? They tell Tony Khan in between bumps, everybody take a shot. Take a line. Drink regular Coke. Are they doing things with Tony in the back? It just makes me wonder. Which leads me, speaking of Tony, to the next part. Tony comes out maybe a minute before they go live. And he was really beyond amped. It was uncomfortable. He spoke a mile a minute. And I did not understand a word he said. The only key things I heard was this is a historical building. And this was the first time that there's been wrestling in that building since ROH. Do your homework, Tony fucking Khan. That was embarrassing. Especially when Meltzer, who lives here down the road, he was here the last time there was wrestling at the Cow Palace. That was APW. Will Hobbs was here. Hell, Jungle Boy was here. Come on, people. Brian Cage, he was there. Damn, it made me think about all the people who were on or related to, AEW. Colt Cabana was there. I was there, obviously. And most of that crowd. It was 2017. November 2017.
Cool.
Yeah. Wait, November? Yeah. No. It was in November. Maybe it was 2017. Maybe 2018. All these years blend into one. But no, it was 2017 because, yes, Cole hasn't been back in a while. But anyways, digress. Get your facts right. Even Justin Roberts. God, I hate Justin Roberts. He even must have, hey, San Francisco, we're back. And then here was me yelling across the empty arena. This is your first time here. Are you stupid? Now, where I was sitting, I'll lean this way. That's where the ring bell girl was, who was dressed in like it looked like trash. It was not a very professional event. She was wearing a stupid a knit cap and like a ski parka. You know, Doc Samson was right there. Doc Samson actually chuckled. Okay. And then some of the other guys who were like kind of the ring crew kind of guys were over there. They laughed. They go, that girl is right. I go, yeah, I know. Stupid, huh? This one. And shout out to Sean, their actual guy who supervises everybody, the production guy. I know him from Ring of Honor. He's like, well, you know, that's Amanda. So I just had to laugh. So shout out to you, Sean. Anyways, but that was really weird and awkward. And the pandering they do to people is very interesting. So I just thought that was kind of gross. Match came on. It was from the minute the first match started, it was what, Orange Cassidy versus I don't even know. See, that's how awful it was. Big Cass.
Big Cass, yeah.
Wait,
they call him Big Bill now. He was
Big Bill. He had
Will
two
Morrissey when he showed up. Then he was W Morrissey. He was Kaz XL the first time he showed up with MJF's thing, I think. And then now he's Big Bill.
He's got 5 names.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't think that any one of the names has been a big fucking problem. So it's kind of like you're changing it for no reason at a certain point. But
unless
I mean,
Morrissey put a cease and desist.
It'd be funny if Morrissey was like, you can't be Morrissey. We're Morrissey.
I thought about that. You know, I thought about that a long time ago. Like, did Morrissey tell him that he doesn't want to be associated with some stupid wrestler goon? You go, Morrissey.
Funny.
Especially if the guy came out with like a pompadour like Morrissey. You know, that'd been hilarious. But you know, whatever. Anyway, it was very underwhelming. There was a point where Stokely, I like to call him Black Panther Stokely. Because his new little gimmick, his little black little suits with the little beret looking hat, he totally looks like a Black Panther member. And the sunglasses. Yeah. And he had the little black tie on the little leather looking thing. I'm like, he was like, help me. He was telling Doc Samson and the little ring bell girl, and Justin Roberts was just staring at him. And I'm like, come on now, guys, you got to help Black Panther Stokely. He smirked. He kind of, I'm like, I hope they didn't show him on camera when I said that. He smirked. I'm like, I would have helped him, but I'm not allowed back there. I would have helped. You know, hey, audience participation. I grew up watching Rocky Horror. I get it. I know the boundaries and the limits, you know, I would have helped. And I would have said, solid, throwing up the fist, you know. Part of me wants to go to find in Oakland somewhere or wherever one of those pics, the Afro pics with the fist. So Stokely will put that in with his outfit. I think that'd be cool. It shows diversity, equity, and inclusion. Speaking of that topic, AEW has a policy apparently in their live shows. It is to be inclusive of all races, genders, blah, 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 blah. Okay. If that's so, how come the front area is not diverse? This San Francisco is a very ethnically diverse crowd, probably the most diverse of anywhere in this country. And it really shocked me that, okay, you had a token, no offense to this person, token transgender woman. Fine. You know, my yellow people never really represent. Technically, I was not even though my seat did say I was in the front row, I really was 4 rows back. I had to sit in an angle to see this right here that you see behind me. If you're on wherever your podcasts you listen to of choice, you might want to watch the visual because it's a good show to watch a visual. Anyways, shout out to us. But I just was blown away because there weren't a lot of women in the front. There were probably like 7 or 8. It was very shocking to me. It was very boys club. And I don't think that they should to say things like about their, how inclusive they are, and they take pride on diversity, inclusion, and equity and inclusion. Excuse me, DE&I, big words, people. Yeah. So, and especially because this month is Women's History Month, should have been some kind of, a little bit more. Do better, AEW. Do better. Don't practice what you preach. Anyways, honestly, the whole thing felt very underwhelming. I went in thinking this was going to be exciting. It really wasn't.
Where's
There's
the
only
energy
for
there?
me. Well, the crowd was lame, except for one match. And I'll let you guess which match.
The ladder match, probably because of Hobbs.
Yes, sir.
And Commander, because Commander was fucking cool.
Commander was fucking cool. Okay, here's what I did not like about the entrance. What it should have been was they should have, because they're introducing Commander for the first time. Commander's amazing. I've seen Commander a couple of times. You're introducing Commander, and this was the homecoming of Will Hobbs. The way they did it, Will was like in the middle. And it was kind of shitty for other people who were announced before him and after, because he took the slow walk to the ring as he deserves and everything. And it made me a little frustrated, like, this is his home. And here's my criticism. I've said it before on episode 1, I'll say it again. My criticism is Will Hobbs, since he was signed, we've ran shows in Northern California. He never did a goodbye show. He never wrestled in one of our shows. The first wrestling show he wrestled for was Defy. It was a company that when he was not even nobody, they wouldn't look at him twice. And I challenge Jim Perry and I challenge Matt Farmer to tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not. And his second match was not at home. It was versus Brian Myers in New Jersey a couple weekends ago. He came out as a quote unquote surprise. Actually, I think the promoter was surprised that he was there on an anniversary show and said that we were going to get some match again another time. And, the crowd went nuts because he was there. Did he stay? No, he was gone. He bolted right after, because he didn't want people to come bombard him and ask for autographs and whatever, because he has an agent now and all that. But what they should have done, they should have given him a little bit more of a moment when he came out. That was probably the loudest cheer. I will say that, the fake people who like to sing along with Judas, and actually, I really honestly think that there weren't a lot of people singing Judas in my area. I think they have recorded the crowd singing along and they play it with his entrance. So it sounds louder than it is.
Did you feel like it came through the PA or no?
Yep, it came through the PA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it did. And that's really sad. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's really sad.
It's the stuff they criticize WWE about at the very least. So
Exactly. And their fans criticize WWE about it all the time. But
Which is also funny because I
I
find the crowd pipe in concept such an interesting argument because people will go like, "Oh my god, did you hear that reaction? It was huge," and "Oh my god, that person's getting no reaction," and then they go, "Oh, do you hear all this piped in reaction for this guy that they want a reaction for? They're not getting it." You're like, you're all over the place on if you think that you're manipulating the crowd or not. You know what I mean? Like they either are doing it or they're not doing it. And if they're gonna do it, there's a lot of times where you think that they would do it, that it's not happening. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just the whole crowd manipulation concept is a little weird to me, just because I've never seen anything that came through that clearly defined. I would say though that the Raw after Rumble 2019, I do remember. I don't remember thinking that they manipulated the crowd noise for what it was, but they definitely seemed to quiet the crowd. Like they were turning down the mics for the crowd that was cheering and booing cheering Bailey, booing Ronda. When I went back and rewatched it, the crowd was really loud during that time, but what didn't come across on TV. Like they had lowered the mics for the crowd, but they weren't piping in noise that wasn't there. That I remember. But,
yeah. I don't think I've ever heard them do that.
Yeah. But that's
as far as when I used to go too.
Dude, I didn't even notice that Peter Avalon was on this show. I didn't see him.
I forgot about that until when Jericho came out, of course, well, actually we jumped ahead. So congratulations, Will Hobbs.
Yeah, so wait, was that the second match? Was the ladder match the second match?
Yes.
It felt short. Was it a really short match?
Well, I will say this. The Orange Cassidy match went on way longer than it should have.
That felt really long.
And the crowd felt it too. That crowd had no energy in that. Well, also, behind me, as you see the crowd, there wasn't much more that filled in back there.
Yeah, no.
So I have not watched it back to see.
I saw someone give me the numbers. They said it was Cow Palace seats 14,000. They configured it so they would only be seating 5,500, and they sold about 3,800 seats. So they weren't even half capacity.
No, but also with the Cow Palace, though, they called it a sold-out show, and that was not 3,800 people. APW, when they were here at the Cow Palace, they had as many seats, and it was almost sold out. There was not room at all.
Yeah.
At all. And this is sad. That's an indie promotion. Yeah. This is the real deal. They're doing 2-for-1 tickets because Rampage didn't sell anything. And right now, I'm sitting in a very similar spot. I already know where I'm going to move for seat filling. I'm going to move to the second row. There's a seat that's the third seat, same section, section G. Third seat from the aisle, the ramp aisle. I'm going to sit there, bring him a signs. But it was really kind of sad. So,
what do you think about? Because I've seen a lot of people back and forth about it. The referees assisting so much in a ladder match. 3 referees crouching down, holding ladders. It looks like Will Hobbs grabbed a broken ladder instead of grabbing one of the working ladders. Asked the referees to help. They jumped in to help. Then at one point, he's trying to do the picture poses, and I could see him lean down and say, "Here, hold this for me." And he handed them the thing. He moves his position. They say, "We need another shot." So they hand it back. And so then he tries to pose again. Like, I've seen a lot of people back and forth because a lot of people are saying, like, "Oh, it looks Bush League when the refs help." I've seen wrestlers post pictures of referees sneakily holding corners of the ladder while they're crouched down, and you couldn't see it until they pointed it out. And I was like, that's also part of the point, is that you couldn't see it until you pointed it out. This is one where it's not a matter of pointing it out. They're in the ring holding the ladders. Some of them are standing. To me, if you need someone to be holding a ladder to do the spot, I'd rather you not do the spot, because I'm losing a lot of faith and stuff in those moments, right? Yeah. If I notice someone sneakily holding a ladder, like Mike Chioda used to be really good at it. He'd put a foot on it and then be yelling at the person, hey, you got to watch what you're doing. But he's really leaning on the ladder and looking like he's directing the match, but he's waiting it. These people are holding the ladder, trying to help someone win. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's happening here. Someone's trying to win a match and they need to climb the ladder.
Well,
You're now assisting in the win. What's different between that and someone power bombing someone? They roll over and they say, hey, roll him back over here onto his back. And you as a ref go, oh, okay, why would I not help put this guy in position for you? Or someone gets to the top rope and they're all like, hey, he's too far. Can you drag him over closer to the corner? And the ref goes, yeah, not a problem. Grabs him by the foot and drags him over. To me, it's the same thing. If I see a referee get called over, hold the ladder and look up for the person to be winning. It's just, I'd rather you not do the spot. If it's a move that's not winning the match, I'd rather you not do the move at all. If it's the spot that's winning the match, I'd rather you just find a ladder that worked. Like, I don't want to see referees help someone win. Because this was 4 referees helping someone win.
Well, where do we start with this one? I had to drink a little alcohol because there's a couple of things with this one. Funny you should ask.
And I do agree with the concept of their safety, because people said, like, oh, I just don't want to see him get hurt. Don't do the thing that's going to hurt you. Go ahead.
Well, this is a little funky because, one of the things that I noticed was, about 2/3 into the match, I noticed that the ring was lowered a little bit more. And it was swinging.
Oh, you mean the brass
That's
ring?
how I noticed it. Because I'm like, why is the thing swinging? Because they lowered it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that the ladder that was there, the person who placed the ladder, Guevara, and I'm not shitting on it because it was Sammy, I don't think he used the right ladder.
Yeah.
Because Hobbs couldn't reach it when he was on. He had to go to the top one to reach it. That's what the issue was. Not tall enough.
That was only one of the issues.
I don't want to say he has. That's
because the ladder was also broken, so he couldn't balance on the top. He's a big dude, and he couldn't balance on the top, but he also used a broken ladder that didn't open all the way.
It didn't open all the way, but also remember,
when Hobbs was trying to open it and couldn't, he should have thrown it instead of getting a different ladder.
Yeah, but also remember that ladder was also in that spot, that really horrible spot, which we'll get to in a moment. It was in a horrible spot that happened during the match, and that didn't help that ladder either. Now, yes, he should have thrown it and gotten a bigger one, but it ends up, it is what it is, kind of. Was it shitty? Yeah. But I thought it was hilarious that they lowered it down too, realizing that, okay, that's the ladder that's going to end up being there. It's shorter than the tallest one. They had to. That's what really made it start swinging. And I was looking at it like, that's so not subtle. And I had to ask the guy next to me. I said, is it me? Or did they? He goes, I was just about to ask you the same thing. Because I was looking up all what the hell, right? It was a very bittersweet moment. Yes.
What was that spot? Was it Stone Cold? Was it a Stone Cold ladder spot where there was they never found out who was messing with it, but there was a ladder match in WWE, and the whole deal was as he went to go grab it, it went up because it was they're fucking with him. They won't let him win. You know what I mean? Because Vince McMahon's out to get him. This looks like Hobbs is cheating. Like you said, it's bittersweet because of that. Because now he's in a ladder that's not working. He gets assistance from several referees. And then because he still can't reach it, the ring starts to come down into his hand to help him win. And it looks like
that would have been great.
It kind of did. They brought it down as they realized he wasn't going to be able to reach it. It kind of looks like when The Rock was part of the corporation and Vince was helping The Rock win and cheating for him. I almost wish that they would go that route. Have someone who Eddie's a fucking good talker, but he just quit apparently. But have somebody out there
Well,
who's talking shit on Hobbs and being like, "Hey man, they lowered that thing for you. They were helping you win you in Tony's pocket or what?" You know what I mean? Just let that be a fucking angle
now,
right there.
but remember, another angle way you can do it, and I've said this before in episode 1, Will Hobbs is beloved by a lot of people in that back.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, is what it is. There is one person though, and I can't wait to see this match because this is the match I think that I never thought I would want, but I kind of need. This is also the first time now that I've fucking seen Takeshita live.
Oh yeah.
Finally, with my feeling. Boy, he didn't disappoint. It was so exciting. Him and Hobbs. That's going to be one battle for the ages. And I didn't realize how big Takeshita was. Like, I knew he was kind of big, but dude was like Hobbs size. And it shocked the shit out of me. Height and girth. And I'm like, this is going to be one of those ones that I need to see. And those two had a great battle. Like, I'm like, wow. That was very exciting. I don't know, maybe because there's so much going on, but Eddie, I remember Eddie coming out. I heard his music when Hobbs came out, but then all of a sudden, like, Eddie was gone. And so I don't know what happened because I was still like in the revelry, this is Hobbs's moment, and I'm involved with this. So I never saw any of that. And I was like, wait, and then midway through, I'm like, what happened to Eddie?
So Eddie and Ortiz, they start fighting on the outside of the ring. And at first I was kind of like, I saw that there was that little clip going around where it's like, Eddie, you wanted this time to talk. What is it? You and Ortiz had to be separated by a bunch of people. What's going on? And he goes, I quit AEW. And then he walks out. And I remember for a second, I was like, I wonder if he's like legit on that, because he had said something in some interview somewhere just earlier in the week that he was really unhappy with this match that was about to happen on Dynamite. And he needed to talk with some of the guys in the back about it because he really didn't, he didn't want whatever was happening to happen. Like, he was very upset with what the match was laid out to be. And so when I saw that clip too, I was like, I wonder if he really has like hit a wall where he's like pissed or something.
I don't know.
They fight to the back. They do that. But then something occurred to me because someone pointed out to me. That was an AEW tweet with that little video backstage. We
didn't see it.
I know, but it was a tweet is what I'm telling you. But it was a tweet by
but
AEW.
You would ask me.
Yeah, because I think it turned out to just be a tweet. It wasn't something that was on the show. But it was also by the AEW official account. And if there's one thing we know about Tony Khan, it's that he will ignore reality by hell or high water, no matter who asks when or why, if he might look bad. So the fact that AEW tweeted that means it's definitively not true. It's a work. Because when stuff makes Tony look bad, he's no comment. I can't talk on that. For legal reasons, I cannot be speaking on that. But that also sounds like not a legal reason. He's never given a legal explanation, which Eric Hawani pointed out too. He goes, he keeps saying legal reasons. What are these legal reasons? We've never seen a court case. We've never seen anything go to court. We've never seen or heard from any kind of lawyer about anything impending. He goes, there's been no results of anything. And he keeps talking about legal, like the law is somehow involved. And he goes, but how? Because most law stuff is public, but the fact that AEW tweeted it out is like, oh, it's some kind of an angle. And then someone told me, because I wasn't paying attention to it, at the Ring of Honor tapings they did this past week, Eddie was involved a lot in those. So I think the belief is they're moving Eddie to Ring of Honor. I don't know if Ortiz will or won't go. Clearly, because I saw the match after I saw that thing, and I was like, oh, I wonder if him and Ortiz finally have beef. They were really working together closely not that long ago. And then when I saw the clip, I was like, oh yeah, they're not even close to touching each other. They're working it. But I wonder, we know Eddie's got an issue with Punk. We know Colt's got an issue with Punk. I'm wondering if they're shifting people from AEW over to ROH to make for a more accepting locker room for the return of a Phil Brooks.
You bring up a very good point.
I always
Before
do.
the ladder match, we had a teaser. We were supposed to have a match with the Elite because all of a sudden you heard Wayward Sons. And then it went pitch black. And we're like, and I was like, oh my God, I finally get to see fucking Malachi Black. Okay. Or I didn't say it that way. I said, finally I get to see fucking Tommy End. Okay, I gonna go there.
Yep.
And then they did the switch. And then I was just like, oh, okay. So you heard this here on episode 1. I believe Revolution, and I think this show we're gonna have a little bit of predictions here because we've been booking AEW, Marsh and I. We've had no compensation. We're not allowed, apparently we're not media enough to be media at Revolution. I just want to ask about drinks. I want to bring some lightness into it. You let little AJ, whatever his name is, AJ's Awesome or whoever, let him come in. I'm just a girl wanting to know about alcohol or non-alcohol.
Or at least
what
kind of shampoo Tony Khan uses. He's got the most luscious curls.
Yeah, he does. And I'm jealous because I have to put this curl in manually. And I wear, as you notice a lot, I put my hair in a bun to keep it because I have straight Asian hair, you know? I want to know if Tony, how he likes his coat cut. Does he like it classic? Does he like it diet? Does he like it zero? Inquiring minds want to know. But I feel that since we have been booking AEW, and now that you do bring up this point of bringing a friendly locker room, I believe now that House of Black is going to win the trios. And then we're going to see the return of the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega to ROH. Because that's the last move in order for Phil Brooks to come back. Because everybody else is gone. All that's left are the people who like the fucking brown nose. Hi, Ricky Starks. How you doing? And they, people who...
And they're about to bury Paige, too. They could easily finish off Paige at Revolution, have Mox beat him, and then pop back up in Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Supercard of Honor could be basically like... Yeah, go ahead.
The best thing would be bring the band back together. Meaning, give the guy who's supposed to be... who had started all of the good in a shitty Ring of Honor before they got sold. Bring him back. Bring him back. Let him book it. The guy that brought the Pure title back. Yuta should be fucking thanking Marty Scurll's fucking stars for that one.
Can we just talk about the show and not talk about Marty Scurll every fucking 20 minutes, Amanda?
Hey, he was a big part of that ROH back then. Okay?
Sure, but we're not talking about Scurll. We're talking about Punk. And all you're like, and they can bring back Marty Scurll. Talk about Punk.
Well, because I hate Phil. Hello. Hi.
That's the
Only
point.
Obvious. Hello. Okay. Now, so
that's it, right? Who else did he fucking beef with?
That's the direction they're gonna go.
That's what I'm saying. What's gonna happen if they move Elite and if they move Paige, and if they move Eddie? Like who else? Who else has he beefed with? It would still be there.
Colt's already gone. Colt's gone. It's all the brown nosers, the ass lickers, the coattail riders, people who don't want to rock the boat because they have a lot to lose.
The interesting bit too is Jericho, because Jericho's been like, "Oh, if I have any say in it, he'll never come back, and I'll do everything it takes." It'd be funny if they removed everyone else who had a say in it, and then just tell Jericho, like, "What are you gonna do, man? Leave?" And he just goes, "Ah, you're right," because he probably is a pushover.
But then look at the quotes that Jericho's been putting out. He put out about how much he loves, like, AEW and WWE is not for him, and all this other stuff. I think I saw that today.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, Jericho, you're going to do what the man above is going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody who really was originally associated with starting that company. Oh yeah, Brandon Cutler will go to a Nakazawa, but they don't count. But anybody who originally was a part of that, the founding fathers, they're all gone. They're one's gone. And if Phil comes back, the others are like, this is not what we signed up for. You know? I mean, this is not. I'm sure when Kenny got bit by Ace the Cannibal Steel, you know, he probably was like, I didn't sign up for this. I want to go back to Japan, because there has been talk about the Bucks and Kenny going back to, well, obviously Kenny as a belt holder in New Japan, but there's talk about the Bucks going back. And
there's a lot of talk about Kenny going to WWE right now. That I was even saying on Renee's podcast that he's trying to figure out right now if he's just ungrateful or if he's wasting his time. That he doesn't really have the kind of goals he used to have. He used to want to win the G1. He used to want to have match of the year. He goes, I don't have any of those desires anymore. WWE will be the one hill he's never climbed, right? Theoretically, it wouldn't be a big stretch to think that he might go there just to see what the fuck happens. Give it 2 years, 3 years, and if he makes it to the Mania, great. And if not, well, I went and I did the thing. One more thing I did. You know what I mean? Like, it's really nothing to lose for him. Huh. Yeah.
You never know. You never know. But
I think Revolution and the next Ring of Honor thing are going to be the two biggest need to watch shows, not even because of the matches, but because of what does this mean long term, you know?
Yeah. Now, Ring of Honor starts airing Thursdays, which is tonight. They showed already. There's a gauntlet has been dropped. Zack Sabre Jr. has already called out Danielson. I did not know that he tried to do it, but he did it in his subtle way. He's like, I'm the best in the world. So this makes the setup perfect for Danielson to either float between the two brands, which I think is a possibility, and we're going to get that match. Yes. And I have a feeling we're getting it at Supercard of Honor. And Marsh, we need to go. We need to go. Colin's sick. We need to go. I want to be like Hamilton. I want to be in the room where it happened. And then
do we know anything that's on Supercard yet?
Probably we're going to get a triple threat again of Joe and Wardlow and Hobbs.
That wouldn't make any sense, because I thought what this looks like to me is that with the brass ring, I think that Hobbs is going to take the TNT title off Joe. Joe's going to go to ROH, and that's that. You're not going to have Wardlow.
Possibly.
You're not going to have
You're not
Hobbs.
going to have him beat Joe at all?
No point.
You're going to let
Hobbs,
the guy that Hobbs, you built up?
Oh, with the fucking haircut thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Wardlow's going to go to Ring of Honor?
No. He needs to stay. They don't have that many people if you keep moving people. So who's Philbrook's going to wrestle? Oh, he's going to wrestle MJF again. He's going to wrestle Ricky Starks. Get your wish, Ricky. Be careful what you wish for. Just like what Jericho said.
Yeah. Well.
Two selfish people. Anyways, you'll get Sammy Guevara there. Yeah. You know, the Magic Mike or whatever the hell and Cool Hand Luke, they're there. We get Luchas. Well, not know what is going on with Luchasaurus, but we get you get Jungle Boy staying there. You get Christian, who might be buried alive. I don't know, but I'll talk about Jungle Boy and all those feels in a minute. But it's a very interesting landscape. I do feel that if we have booked this, and I'm saying this here now, I think this is ammunition for us. For me, it feels like, we're not wanted because they don't want us to go behind the curtain because we're the ones actually really driving this shit. I'm like, I'm not asking to be paid, man. I'm just asking for things like if I show up in, I don't know, like Chicago, can I sit where the pro wrestling tees guys sit? Like, come on, Parkin, you know me. Can I do that? Can I go wherever? Can we have carte blanche, me and, and Marsh, and, let Marsh every once in a while referee a dark elevation match? Let him sit by the cooler and pick Aubrey's brain. That would be hilarious. I would laugh because Marsh would be such a dick. I'd love it. I'd love to hear that kind of conversation. Shit like that. But, whatever. We'll stay in our lane. But it's going to be very interesting. I feel that Ricky will not win a Revolution because I think Action Andretti is going to cost him the match.
Yeah, because they changed the stipulation now, so it's not no one allowed ringside. Now it's JAS not allowed ringside, so that way somebody else can get involved.
Can I get involved? Like, who are you? I'm like, I'm just wanting to get involved because it didn't say Amanda's not allowed up in the ring at ringside.
Just no JAS, that's all. So yeah, I don't know. It is a little weird.
SAS.
I wonder what they are going to do with them. The Hangman promo or the Moxley promo. Well, actually, both of them were on video. Did you get to see those in the arena?
Yes.
Could you hear them fine?
Those. No.
Yeah, I do. It's just like an arena thing. I don't. Even WWE, when you see the stuff on their screen, it's always terrible to try and hear it live. So tough.
Yeah,
you only catch like a few words.
Yeah. All I got from it was when we were watching it, the amount of extra blood that kept dripping. So it was funny that I'm laughing to myself, like he's cutting himself during this promo when you don't see him, because when you're looking at the ground and you see the drops of blood, he's cutting. I thought that was hilarious. It's too much. Or he's squeezing it like you're squeezing a pimple, Dr. Pimple Popper, I thought that was funny. Also, Hangman, Hangman sounded like the Charlie Brown teacher. I had no idea what was going on. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then there was this
one speaking real soft.
He had said something. Yeah. He said something, and I was like, cowboy shit. No one thought that was funny. No one responded. Maybe because no one could hear. But you're in San Francisco. Okay, you're by an area called Hunters Point. That's the ghetto. It should have been a Hunters Point gang warfare, right? That would have been major. That would have been exciting. We're nowhere near Texas.
Yeah, this Texas death match and not Texas is interesting. Plus, it's not a Texas death match. There were rules to Texas death matches. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It doesn't just mean no DQ.
Yeah. Maybe because San Francisco doesn't have anything, but that's why I said make it like it could have been it would have been a I hella love Oakland kind of thing where anything goes.
Mean, if
you can have.
If you're going to call it a Texas death match and not use Texas death match rules, then just call it a street fight. San Francisco street fight's just as fine.
Cinematic in the ghetto involve homeless people, the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz. That would have been good. Then a cinematic match, the two of them at Alcatraz.
That'd be cool.
And they had to escape. It should have been an escape from Alcatraz match. That's what should have been. And fucking, how do you win? You get off the fucking island.
Yeah, that'd be good. One of them gets eaten by a shark.
They find the boat. And, that would have been sick. Shout out to Jessica. Jessica, because she's sick. Anyway, sorry. But no, man, why do we book good shit, Marsh? That would have been amazing. Yeah. Why are they insulting my intelligence?
Yeah, the Jericho Avalon thing, I didn't even notice. I looked up, and then Ricky Starks was getting his ass kicked, and I was like, all right.
When I heard the music, I had to go grab my sign. Jericho gave me a dirty look when he was facing the hard cam because he could see my sign, and he was just like, oh. Yeah. And then he had said something about, I don't know, he had said something during his little promo. He was trying to cut about, oh, I hate this, but everyone hates I hate San Francisco too. I'm from here. San Francisco is dirty. It's gross. San Francisco is the reason why We have such high rent up here in Northern California. I hate it too. Trust me, Jericho, I hate it. And then he says, then he's like, I can't wait to beat Ricky and then get out of this, town. I have to be here for a week. Ugh. And I was like, I had to be with you for a week on the boat just a couple weeks ago. And of course, the people by me, the workers were all laughing. Like, #truth. I mean,
No.
yeah. I'm like, and some of you guys were there too. So that was nothing. I'm a little upset that we didn't give Ricky a microphone because the last time he looked like a bitch, where he didn't say a word and he had to let Jericho have his fill in and think he's smarter than whatever, and all Ricky did was give facial, his and then the be careful what you wish for, anything smug. Yeah, that's not a promo. People are comparing him to The Rock again. No, I need a microphone in that guy's hand. That place would have lit the hell up. That would have been the second highest, like explosion of crowd because people were wanting it. They were wanting it bad. Yep. So hopefully tomorrow, fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I didn't get to speaking of promos on a screen. When Jungle Boy did it, I couldn't hear what he was saying.
He
but
didn't say
his
a word.
Emotion and whatever, and just the looks on his face, I was getting a little teary-eyed. I'm like, God damn, I'm remembering my favorite episode of 90210. And I had a moment where I was like remembering when I met his dad and I fangirled out totally hardcore and I started to cry. And I was like, this kid grew up here. He wrestled here. He became big here. And a lot of people don't really realize that. And I sat there to myself thinking, I hope people acknowledge that. Because when he went to school at UC Santa Cruz, he was wrestling up here. He trained up here. He learned to wrestle up here. And it's kind of special. And so I got, I'm getting emotional again too. But I can't wait. Jack's grown up. Jack's grown up. So adorable. He's grown up. I'm so proud of him.
The video didn't have him saying anything. It was just like replaying stuff.
I thought he said something.
I don't remember a word from him.
Oh, maybe not. But that was very cinematic. Tears went down. Yep. So.
Well, good. I'm glad it stuck because I felt like it was so fucking produced in a way that it was like, because Christian comes out and he cuts this promo and he's like challenging Jungle Boy. And then the response is this pre-recorded thing that was clearly edited heavily. I was just kind of like, I was like, I wish he'd like waited till Friday or something. You know what I mean? Like, I guess you got to put it on the show that it says that it shows everything, but like, it just was kind of like really quick to get to that. So I was like, but that's just like a nitpicky thing if I'm being honest. I mean, it was fine. It was a cool package. But yeah,
we filmed it quasi locally. From what I was told. Yeah. Which is cool.
Christian, I thought it was funny where he's all like, you said you want to hold a singles title this year where you can't because I'm gonna. I was like, what? There's a shitload of singles titles floating around. You guys can both definitely hold titles at the same time. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And if they do a partnership with like another wrestling company, like New Japan, there's another belt there. There's lots of belts there.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what else. Oh, the FTW match. Hook and Hardy. What did you see from where you were? Because I'll tell you what I saw.
Okay, first thing that I saw that just kind of God, how do I put this? One of the things that made me kind of sad was Ethan Page.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was sort of there.
I was like, man, I'm like, I wanted to go, Julian. Dude, go back to Impact. Look at what Josh Alexander's doing. Josh Alexander is on a totally different level now. I miss the North. I always say that. But fuck.
Mm-hmm.
What was
So again, I asked you specifically about Hook, and
Hook. Okay.
Yeah.
Hook is interesting.
Yeah.
In the sense that he's very methodical. And I actually didn't, this is one of my, I had no really expectations with Hook, like kind of one trick pony, right? But it kind of impressed me in his weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I say this is because of what we didn't see. Is after the match when it went dark, he had a moment, and I wish I snapped a photo. I was too late. He had this moment with Matt Hardy where they gave each other this really big hug, and Matt Hardy was having a little, like, kind of like a, you know, a good, like, little pep talk right there in the ring before they left the ring. And I was just like, whoa, like, that was a cool moment. And then I could see Hook, and I could actually hear him, and he's like, thank you, I really appreciate that. And so I was just like kind of blown away, like, whoa, like this was a teachable thing that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I saw it after I, you know, had seen that. Like, wow, I was kind of shocked in a pleasant way. The shenanigans around, no, but I liked Hook in person.
Yeah, I think he's good. I thought Matt Hardy did a good job. I thought the match was really long for the two of them, especially for a Hook match.
For a Hook match. Mm-hmm.
And I felt like what that did was kind of expose Hook. Because when I watched it, I was like, oh, Hook's not that good yet. Like, he's still learning, and he's learning slow. And I think part of the problem is he's not having longer matches. But he had to sell more than he's ever sold before, and he had to work harder for the win, which he hasn't had to do. And because of that, it was really clunky, and he looked really, really green for someone who's been in the company for several years now and has been holding a pseudo fake championship for this long period of time with all these victories. I just thought it was interesting because a lot of people were all like, man, I love tuning in and watching Hook and seeing how good he's getting every week. And I was like, yeah, he's getting better for sure. He's definitely better now than he was his first match. But at the same time, we're seeing more of him now than his first match. So theoretically, if you watch his first match, you might not realize that he didn't know what he was doing at all because he only did two things. This match was so long that I was all like, oh, like it was just long enough that I was like, oh, that he's really, really still learning. Like he does not know how to do this.
Moments.
Yeah.
Teachable
Which
moments.
was cool. But I also wondered why this had to be on a Dynamite and not on a Rampage. You'd think you'd want that for a Rampage, right?
Because it's Hook. Hook gets ratings. People get certain feelings for Hook when you hear that music. And he did not get as loud of a pop as he should have. That's where I was expecting.
Did Peter Avalon get a big pop?
Going to go nuts. They got more of a big. Matt Hardy got more of a big pop because I think people got psyched out and thought that Jeff was coming out.
I think so too.
With Matt, but
that was exactly the feeling I thought when I heard the music and heard the crowd. I was like, I think they think this is Jeff.
Yep, they sure did. You guys are dumb. God.
I didn't care for the Britt Baker promo.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it.
It's so funny. You know what was in the news too? Britt Baker was saying on some interview how they've really dialed back with her that, yeah, she's on TV every week, but I used to have matches every week and I was the champion. And she was talking as though she's falling down the card or something. And you're still like, no, you're still taking away so much from the rest of the division. The champion can't do a promo without you talking over top of her half of the thing. Like, it was just funny to me. I was like, what a selfish view of all of that. And you got to be selfish in this business, I'm sure. So, but Toni Storm versus Riho. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. It's the Emma syndrome.
Yeah,
you know, that's what's all about me.
Yep.
At least you know what? People like her and Blanchard, they don't give a fuck. Yeah, it is about them.
Yeah, I'll be honest about it. Yeah, I'm looking out for me. I'm looking out for the whole division, but you're not. Versus, no. This
But
is
you're
about me. I'm
not?
trying to get my
Yeah. But at least Rebel wasn't out there.
Yeah, that's true. Probably injured again or something. Riho and Tony, I really didn't pay much attention to. I saw Ruby come out, and I looked up and realized that Saraya was out there throwing the worst forearms on, I believe it was Hater. She was just,
Yes.
they were so bad. I was like, God, Saraya, I've seen you throw better punches than that. Just throw a punch. Throw punches if you can't throw an elbow. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Because it just
There's
looked
a
so
point where
bad. But yeah.
Yeah. There's a point where Saraya was she had, like, I guess, suplexed. I couldn't see because of where I was sitting. Rio. But one thing I will say about Saraya, which is what I've always enjoyed about her, she does great character work.
Riho?
She's very rusty, but her character work is on point. It is.
You're talking about Riho?
No, Saraya.
Oh, Saraya, yeah.
Rio was just like a rag doll getting thrown around everywhere.
Oh yeah, she was all over. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I will say it was a better match. It's probably one of the better Rio matches I've seen.
Okay.
And this was actually the first time I've seen Toni Storm live.
Oh.
She didn't disappoint me at all.
She's great.
I was
great.
so
and I do
excited.
think Saraya's great too.
Oh my God.
I just had bad forearms.
Saraya, she's a little rusty still. But like I said, I'm enjoying her character work because she was just a great little manager right there on the side with everything. Because when Britt and them came out, oh, no. She was so animated. And Knots was just kind of like, she goes, hey. It was just really funny how animated she was. And it just reminded me, her mom reminds me a lot of her mom. Like when her mom, if you've ever seen, like when her mom would like valet for obviously your dad when Ricky was, still wrestling. And even when she's done stuff for her brothers, when the mom had managed, her sons. And, it was great to see that, like, especially if you knew that kind of background and had seen, Saraya Knight and, and Brittany Knight back in the day, and so that was awesome. Of course, I'm like, oh, fuck. Of course, Britt Baker has to fucking bring her fucking ass down the thing. And I'm like, Jamie Hayter is so good. Just let Jamie do her thing, bitch. Go away. Okay? I'm waiting for that day when she wipes your fucking ass on the mat. Britt, I am waiting for that day. You need to eat some humble pie.
I think Hayter would be better off without Britt right now. I think that Britt distracts from her. And I think that Hayter doesn't need that because I think she's good enough to do it without her.
I think that's what you're going to get next. Is you're going to get Hayter and
Britt
Baker probably for Double or Nothing. Maybe that's my prediction.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. The Battle Royal happened. I don't watch Battle Royals in AEW. I've never seen a good one, but I guess Orange Cassidy and Danhausen won. Is that right?
Yeah, Best Friends won. Oh, wait a minute. Did I not predict this on episode 1 that it was going to be the Guns or the Ass Boys, whatever you want to call them, versus the Acclaimed, because everyone loves the Acclaimed. Sanjay and Jeff Jarrett and the Best Friends. Although this is not the combination that I expected and wanted, because I love heavyweight Trent and I felt robbed because that was the only promo I could hear was that one with Dana. Let's wrestle. And Orange was like, I don't care. That I heard very clearly. I'm like, great. The crowd's going to love Orange Cassidy, kind of, sort of give him a lukewarm feeling. Yay. Whatever. I already know that they're one. And I had actually said to myself, and it was a little loud, The guy next to me chuckled. I go, I don't even know why we're watching this. We already know that Best Friends is going to win. And a lot of people were disappointed because they thought that FTR was going to come out and win it.
Yeah, so
I don't know who told you all that, but
how did that come across in the arena? Because I didn't have the noise up here, but I have a feeling because Dax even tweeted about it. Sounds like you missed us. Did they chant for FTR or something, or boo somebody in the last team, or like what did they do?
they booed the last team, Butcher in the Blade. That was so rude. That was so fucked up. I was pissed. I was embarrassed to be in that crowd. I was like, y'all want like Phil Brooks really that bad and his cronies? That y'all no. Even my friend Manny, he wasn't there. But my friend Manny was like, God damn it, I wish that was FTR. And I'm like, no. FTR will make it their appearance. They'll make it known. I think they'll be at Revolution. I'm pretty sure. It's going to be the return of Phil and whatever. You know, it would be really fascinating is if the way they bring Phil Brooks back, either A, he goes after MJF again, or B, the new trios champs are going to have a really interesting pair trio coming up, which would be FTR and CM Punk.
That would be funny.
I feel like they're teasing that they want that. So that's my prediction.
think so too. And that's really funny because it would be the only thing you could do with them that no one would really want. You know what I mean? Because if you bring back Phil and FTR, realistically, people want to see them against Bucks and Kenny. They want to see that. You know what I mean? And I get that. I know you're not going to get it, but that's what people would want to see. Or you'd want to
that's what you
see
get for
like
biting
Punk
people.
and MJF, right? You'd want to see some of these bigger name ones, but if you actually just fucking brought back them and have them go up against House of Black for the Trios Championship, everybody would be like, what? Why?
Yeah. And I'd say leave Brody King alone. Let him and Buddy and goddamn Tommy End have some. Malachi Black has some gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry. Every time I see little Julia Hart, she warms my heart. That was me as a golf girl when I was.
The video where Malachi was talking his shit and they laid down the titles and stuff. Like I liked that. I thought that was cool.
That was good.
Well done.
I didn't hear it, but the point was given that was whatever was going on. That was good. I wish they were
just one of the only teams doing that. Like I wish that Jungle Boy didn't do his thing too, because I think they do it I think it's really cool when it seems a little more special. And I think when a lot of people are doing their own video promos in the back and make it cinematic and cool and stuff, that it kind of takes away from some of the special. You go, oh, that's their version. Oh, this is their version. I really liked it though. Like I liked it. I wanted to be more special, I guess what I'm saying.
I want to see the Road to Revolution thing because I want to see a Giancarlo Ricky Starks production.
Whatever.
I'm waiting for that. If I don't get it, Giancarlo, I'm coming after you. I saw him walking around, but he was too far away for me to go over and say yo. But I really feel that I felt kind of satisfied that I'm like knowing that Marsha and I have now booked AEW for how many weeks in a row is this? Is this 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 weeks in a row. And we're going to probably book a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And probably Sacramento. I'm not going to that one because I have to take my mom to the doctor. But I will say that it makes me proud. Sucks that we don't get anything, not even a free shirt or a sticker, like I booked an AEW match. That'd be a really cool. No. Maybe that's a underground shirt. Like we need to kind of do somehow that we can make it maybe for like the stickers, how Clump, hi Clump, shout out to you, how he has the meh. Maybe we need that looks like the AEW logo. Maybe we need to have like a sticker or something that says meh. I booked this show.
I booked this shit.
I booked this shit. Yep. Don't blame me. Don't blame me for booking this shit.
The Bryan Danielson promo to close the show, I thought was really good. He's good.
Yeah, I wish they had more time.
No, I think it was a good amount of time because I don't think I want too much back and forth with him. I think I've had enough of MJF. He's not saying anything new. He keeps getting into these weird, like his whole fucking promo last week was so weird. I hate you because my girlfriend left me. I keep having girlfriends leave me. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you don't sound like a badass doing that. Like, yeah, I was really not feeling MJF's promo last week, and I went back to rewatch it because you're like, oh, you should check it out. And I watched it, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
But
and he yells a lot for no reason. Only barely. It still had very much a bum, ba, bum. You know,
he likes haiku.
Bryan Danielson.
He likes poetry like that.
Here's what I don't like about you, Brian. I think that's fucking how he's always talking.
He sounds like Stewie. You make him sound like Stewie from Family Guy.
It's probably who he's fucking angling for. But Bryan, I thought, did a really good job. I thought it was pretty cool. Little bits here and there. I was like, all right, whatever. But, you know, it was good. It was really good. I still don't understand why we're doing a 60-minute match. Realistically, their reason they gave, I just didn't feel. And I was hoping they would say something along the line that would make it like click a little bit better. And it doesn't. I think this is how they're trying to make MJF. And I feel like that when MJF wins, it's going to feel like less than because no one's going to buy it. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone buys that MJF could out-wrestle Bryan Danielson in a 60-minute Iron Man match. So he's going to have to do a bunch of like dastardly shit, I suppose, right? Like, how do you get out of this now with it looking fine? So I don't know. We'll see. And it was funny. He said that he's going to kick his fucking head in. Made me laugh. What else do we have over here?
I don't know, but
I thought it was good.
I will say
the show overall
it was interesting. The merch. Oh, the merch. I should take it. I'll take a picture of it tomorrow.
Yeah, you didn't show me.
Items of merch they have. I had to laugh, and I think I might have, in my own mind, I think I've inspired this one. So it was a scarf, right? MJF scarf, kind of Burberry-ish. It tried to look like Burberry, and it said something to the point of, because I can't afford a real one. I thought it was so tongue-in-cheek.
That's funny.
I kind of want it just because I think since he was on the indies, I was like, look at this Canal Street fucking Burberry. And I remember one of the times I said that, and actually wasn't at a show. It was actually before Defy in Seattle when Ricky was on the card and MJF was on the card and Cole Cabana was on the card. Obviously Swerve, Darby Allin, I think might have been on that one too. I had joked with Ricky. I'm like, what's up with this Burberry, like Canal Street Burberry scarf? He died laughing, and he was like, damn, you spotted a fake. I said, I'm Asian. Of course I do. I know real and fake. Come on now. Please. We Asians make the fake ones. Come on. No, but I that was always my thing, was like this Canal Street Burberry, right? And now that scarf comes out, and I just thought that was the best thing. It's $40, but I don't know if I can justify buying that because they do have a special shirt that actually has the AEW thing, and it says San Francisco, and it has the Golden Gate Bridge. So I kind of want to get that, which is fun.
Yeah, that's cooler.
They do have on Pro Wrestling Tees that they didn't have was a postcard shirt, which was greetings from Scissor Cisco from San.
That's funny.
Whatever. I thought that was cute. They didn't have it for sale, so I'm gonna maybe buy it on Pro Wrestling Tees just so I can have it, and it's 20% off. So at least I'll get some savings there. But I don't know what other merch they had, because for me the two standouts were I need to get the one shirt, and I need to get the probably get this, maybe get the scarf, but I don't know. $50 to park. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, parking.
I don't know. So that's where I'm kind of
yeah.
yeah. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
I don't know.
But
And
yeah, but
I mean, even
definitely-
WWE has like a pretty lame shop when you go live a lot of the times. I mean, you go to the big events and they have the access and you go, oh, this is fucking everything and things you'll never see anywhere else and all that cool shit. But when they just do like a live
Well-
event, they have like 6 t-shirts and like 2 little posters and you're like,
they try to tell you that they have things there that they don't have online. I only saw 2 things. So they had a lot of figures that were pre-signed. Who they
That's
were,
fun.
I have no idea. I don't know who they were.
oh, I finally got my one AEW figure.
Oh, who'd you get? Hope it's someone good.
Finally got the Thunder.
I saw Thunder, friend of the show.
Yep.
She actually saw me
Yeah.
before I saw her. She's like, "Hey, girl,
know
roll
it's
out.
not the
Hey,
Chase.
girl," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, no Chase.
Yeah.
We'll get you one."
I know it's not the
We'll get
Chase,
you
but at
one.
the same time, it's like this was the
hard
first
to find
one.
her.
This is their first figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and it was hard to find.
yeah, it was really hard to find. I went to a bunch of stores a bunch of times. When I finally saw it, we were going back and forth. I was like, I don't know if I should get it. You know, it's a little pricey, and it's kind of watching what I'm spending
What do you
right
mean
now. And
pricey?
I mean, $20
much
for a
was it?
figure. $20. You know what I mean?
That's how much
I'm
I
kinda
paid
like-
for. No, I paid 22.
Yeah, but I'm like watching what I'm spending because I'm not making as much and all that. And so I was like, and we got all these trips coming
Dude.
up. I'm going to California
Dude, hey,
twice
same
this
here.
month. Going to, but look, I've got a fucking hotel this weekend because of Renaissance Festival. Next weekend we have to go to LA.
Wait a
the
minute.
last weekend of
Are you paying really expensive? That you were telling me about the hotels. Are you paying a really like expensive rate?
no, we didn't get the stupid one for Renaissance. Fuck, that was ridiculous. We found one
Okay.
that's just a couple cities away, or like one
good.
city away. But like, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I've got all these things coming up. WrestleMania week's expensive, so I was like really watching what I'm spending. And finally, producer lady's all like, they only have one, and you've been looking for it forever. If you don't get it now, you're gonna be probably pissed. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
fine. So I went and got my Thunder Rosa figure.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick. I'm
I've
pretty
never
stoked
seen
about
it
it.
since I got mine.
And I think I want
Yay.
to I don't know if I even care about getting the Chase so much as I kind of want to get that Lights Out match one, the one where she gets bloody.
The Lights Out one, and then there's that other one that she has that's coming out with the last pay-per-view she did. Remember the big headdress and the whole
Oh yeah.
that one?
Mm-hmm.
That one's coming out.
That one's really cool.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
think
also
those are
the one
probably good.
yeah, but it's also ringside exclusive for the Lights Out one, and I got kind of an issue with ringside collectibles.
I know a lot of people do. I want a Darby still. I'm still hunting people.
Oh, I saw somebody. So I'm part of a whole bunch of wrestling figure Facebook groups and stuff, and buy, sell, trade kind of things. And one dude posted pictures of himself with this figure, and it was a misprint, mispackaged Chase, and it was a CM Punk Chase that was in an MJF box, and it was a picture of him at Walmart with the figure. And when you look at it, you realize he's in a Walmart uniform. And someone made a comment to him because he was trying to sell it for $500. And he was like, yeah, I work nights there as a stalker. So when I see stuff like this, I grab it. And you're like, you're a fucking asshole, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you work in the middle of the night. You pulled it out of the box, took it to your fucking break room so you could buy it when the store opens, so you could try to sell it for $500. Like,
Called America.
what a dick move. Yeah. I was all like,
It's called
I want to
America,
block
Marsh.
you.
You want to know?
Dude.
That's not a dick move, because that happens in every type of thing.
And it's always a dick move. It would be less dickish if he put it on the shelf, put it behind all the other figures, and waited for his first break, went there to see if it was still there, and then buy it. I wouldn't care then, because it would be like, oh, I already know it's there, but if it's still there, that would at least give a window of opportunity for A, real fans to actually get their hands on something that's rare, or B, for someone to stumble across it and have a great find, because it's a retail shop that's trying to sell things. It wouldn't be someone just poaching. You'd have a small window, you know what I mean, that you could do it. Clock out, go get it.
You want to hear?
That's it.
Okay. Here's a quick little story, not related to wrestling figures. went to Target the other night. Okay.
Mhm.
Looking through the Easter shit. And I was like, okay, I know that out there, I love Hello Kitty. I know there's Hello Kitty Squishmallows
Oh
that
yeah.
she's an Easter
Yeah.
bunny. Mm-hmm. There's two of
Mhm.
them. Five Below had one, and I was on the cruise, so it sold out in like the day they came out, and I can't find one. And so I'm like, okay, I know they have one, but they're hard to find. Well, I'm
Mhm.
at Target and I was just looking, and I was looking for something, and I was disgusted because they don't sell the chick. Like, I love Peeps, but only the
Yeah.
chick and not the bunny.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going into that story. So next thing I know is
Mhm.
I was walking down this aisle, and I saw something looking at me. I know it sounds creepy the way I'm saying it. I
Mhm.
looked and I squinted like this. I had my glasses on. And I'm like, no. I ripped through. Someone had hid, and it was only an eye, the Hello Kitty eye. That's how much I know. I ripped through it, pulled it out, and there she was, right in my hand. And I was like, holy shit. Like, someone tried to hide it. So
Yeah.
then I looked to see if there were more, right? Because I would pick up two, like I did with the limited edition, the Franken Kitty.
Mhm.
These go for
All right.
$80, $100 now. I ain't selling mine. I have two of them. One's at work, one's here. Anyways, next thing I put her in the cart. I'm turning around. I'm like, let me go look at, one more thing, Easter candy. See what specialty M&Ms, because Target has them every season, especially M&Ms.
Oh yeah.
What came out for Easter? It's Rice Krispies treats. Didn't sound very good. And I hear these people speaking. They're like, oh yeah, I hid that Hello Kitty really well. No one's gonna find it. And the next thing I hear is her friend that she was talking to, bro, someone found it. And I turned around and they both saw me, and I'm like, it's only $12. You should have bought it. And I walked away. So see,
Yeah, but that doesn't
people
bother
are
me.
gonna find it. And
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
it doesn't.
And these people were
That's what I
bothered
mean.
by it. And I'm like,
If he had put it
dude.
in a weird spot, because what was it? Where was I? I was at like another Target or Walmart, and yeah, I found
Yeah.
a couple of figures in the wrong spot behind some things, and you go, oh, some kid is hiding this. And I was like, I wonder if that's a special one or something, or if it's just their favorite. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. Sometimes it's just, oh, it's my favorite. I used to do that when I was a kid. We'd see it. I got to go find my mom. So you'd hide it behind something. Can I buy it? No. You tell your friend, maybe they can go find it. I hid it behind this other thing. That's part of the game of it. But when you're a stalker and you work there and you take it off, it never makes it to the shelf. That bothers me. Hide it behind something as though you're a collector. And
Well,
even like if you're a night clerk, that means you probably clock out when the day starts. Clock out,
yep.
go over to the fucking area where you hid it. Even if the window's a small window of 10, 15 minutes, at least someone had a
No
chance
one's
to
gonna
see
know.
it.
No one's running into a store because no one ever knows like what day you're putting those out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's just what made it so scummy to me. I was like, you didn't even give a 5-minute window for someone to stumble upon it. Just because you think you can make $500 off of it. Because for whatever reason, your money's worth more than mine. You spent $20 on a figure and you want $500 for it because you happen to work there, not because you came across it. Fuck off, dude.
He's probably
I'm so
making
pissed.
minimum wage.
I didn't even
So,
want the toy. I was just mad at the principal.
I know, but still, but
Yeah, but
point of it is, I hear that Burlington Coat Factory has been getting a lot of really good figs and a lot
I
of
actually
chases.
heard that too. I've heard that from 2 or 3
I'm going to
different
go to
people now.
mine tomorrow. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
take
will
my
too.
mom on an errand tomorrow. So we're going
Mine used to get really good figures, and our marshals used to get really good figures. They used to get elites like 2 seasons late, and so you'd get ones that you knew were no longer hard, or no longer easy to get, and you knew that its current value had gone up. But it's been a while since I've seen a wrestling figure at either one of those stores, so I don't know. But if there's suddenly getting them,
Well, I'll go look.
check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was cool that you went. It was cool that you finally got to check it out, and it wasn't a total bust. It wasn't the best show they've ever put on, but hopefully it's building. Hopefully Hobbs gets the title off of Joe.
I hope so.
Wardlow gets to beat Joe in a non-title match to squash that beef. Joe can go to Ring of Honor. Wardlow and Hobbs can have a bit of a feud, maybe. Or maybe Hobbs can just have a nice run with the TNT title and really finally start to become something, That'd be nice if this was the beginning of his real of the real story of Hobbs or whatever he's calling it. But other than that, you're going to be going there tomorrow night, right, for Rampage, and you're going to also be at Revolution or not at Revolution? Or did you completely leave? You left for last call. Why would you walk away knowing last call is coming up? It makes no sense. Let me see. Is there even anything over here? There's not even anything left on the show. We've already talked about the figures. Marv's cranky. And Amanda went to go park the car or something. Let me see if there's a segment in here that we missed. I'm scrolling. Actually, no. I actually did cover all of it. I thought there was something I specifically skipped. It doesn't even look like it. Yeah, nothing. All right. Well, if you don't come back in the next couple seconds, I'm going to close the show without you. But I know that tomorrow night, Amanda's going to be at Rampage. I think she's going to Revolution. I know we're going to be in LA for WrestleMania week. So come find us, tweet at us, hit us up. Are you on Revolution?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Going to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, kind of look for me. Tomorrow, which is Friday. Look for me. I'm going to try to sit on if you were looking at the entrance ramp, left-hand side. Probably second row, third seat in. I'm going to seat fill there.
All right.
If it's not sold. And Revolution, I am sitting on, when you're facing the ramp, the right-hand side. And I am 3 rows back, 5 seats in, the 5th seat in.
All right. Yeah. So then take notes.
There's a chair. Of course. I hope
That
there's a chair.
Cool.
If there is, that might be for sale. I don't know. We'll see. And then I'm going to see Max Caster on Friday, do his rap show. So hopefully I'll have him sign my, I left my scissors in San Francisco. Sign him and Bowens, because they'll both be there.
That'd be cool.
Bowens, just so you know, they did the last match of the night versus the Workhorsemen. And,
I was going to ask what happened after the show went off. I was going to ask what happened after the show went off. It was the Workhorsemen versus Scissors.
And that's the main event for Dark Elevation. It was Workhorsemen versus the Acclaimed, because everybody loves the Acclaimed. Scissor Me Daddy Ass. And it was really cool because afterwards they went around, obviously. And it was funny because, I had my sign. It's interesting about the signs that people don't do a very good job. A lot of the Acclaimed signs were hot pink signs, but you couldn't see what they said. So I went the opposite way and did black with pink lettering and my scissors that I made. And it was funny because they all saw it. And Max Caster came up to me. Like, he had to actually go out of his way to come over to me. And he remembered me from the boat. And he was like, I hope you're not objectifying anybody, girlfriend. I'm like, nope. And then he has his fingers out. He's like, where are your fucking fingers? I'm like, I'm holding the sign. It was really cute. So they're the best. And it was funny because just watching Billy Gunn, he was like, I'm fucking not walking around this. He went around and then he perched down by where we were. He's like, do you mind if I sit here, guys? I was going to sit here with you people. I don't want to walk around anymore. It was fun. Like, they had a really good time. I was a little sad that Hobbs didn't come out to kind of close it.
Yeah.
But that's where I know he's gone Hollywood. Doesn't care about the people. But that's just my opinion. And I'm going to the bowling. Apparently, Adam Cole, Bebe, and his old bitch are hosting it now. I don't know who Adam Cole is wrestling on Sunday. He's supposed to wrestle.
Are you sure?
But what? That's what that promo was a couple of weeks ago.
No, it wasn't.
Coming
It was
back at
I'm coming back
Revolution.
soon. He didn't say he was going to be
I thought he
wrestling
said he was coming back
Revolution.
at Revolution.
He just said, I'm coming back. It'll be soon. It'll be
Oh.
soon. He just keeps pussyfooting around it. I don't know that he's ready.
What, is he going to fight CM Punk? Is that his first opponent back?
That would be really funny.
These two?
That'd be really funny.
That'd be boring as shit.
Yes, it would be a terrible match.
Because the fans wouldn't know what to do. See, that's what AEW fans are stupid. They don't know who to cheer for. They just want to do all the spots. AEW is for people who want to be scenesters. And I don't like that kind of wrestling.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. Well, then take plenty of notes, jot down stuff, take photos and stuff. And like
I have some photos I'm going to pass on. So we can tag, because there's some good ones. I got a couple good ones of Rio, some Juice Robinson. I got a couple real nice ones of Saraya. No, I did not get any of Ricky Starks because, I knew he was going to get his ass beat, and I had to let people know there at least one Ricky Starks supporter in the crowd.
Yeah. And then we'll come back next week to talk about it right here in the dive bar of the IWC for a brand new episode 1. Amanda, that's last call.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers.
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.